It is Easter Sunday, which means well, you know what it means. You know what everyone thinks of when they think of Easter Sunday. I have to go listen to the bloody CSD one. I mean, that's why if you're in parts of the world you've no work tomorrow, so that you can kick back with this edition of the ChairShot Podcast and an egg. All right, I'm one of your hosts here, Barry, joined as always by my ever dependable co-host. First of all, we got Joe.
Hello, everybody.
And also Paul.
Making the best comeback since a little fella came back from the dead a few years ago. I think his name was Terry Funk. During that
Trump. Yes.
let's not talk about that.
Oh,
open that fucking rock in front of the crypt, please.
We've meshed a couple of bits there together. It's all very topical. It's very
I'm just checking. Sorry, my list, my Excel file, I have on my computer here of people I wish would die. Trump number 2, still behind Vince McMahon.
See, he's got a tough road to hoe to get above Vince. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty.
I tell you, he's pushing close. Close.
Yeah. So I hope you all enjoy the last podcast you'll ever listen to before the planet is destroyed.
I'll have to beep all this out so we can all get into America in the future.
Yeah,
I want to go. This will just be a minute-long beep.
It would be it'd be funny if in some sort of post-apocalyptic Fallout type situation, someone found a transcript of this podcast. A little collectible note that you find when you're rummaging through some bins in Fallout. It's like transcript from a podcast. The host's joke about the end of the world.
Oh, good.
We have a loaded show this week. We've a lot of stuff coming up. We got a lot of wrestling news, a lot of wrestling goings on. We got a new quiz. We got TV reviews. We got a pape preview coming up. I think all of our first on the MyAEW. Should be good.
Yes, sir.
And all the other fun and games you've come to expect from the show, folks. So, oh God, got a lot of wrestling stuff to get to. So, you know what? Let's actually do Life Golf first, right? I don't really have any. It's egg time. Happy egg and that. What are you guys up to? What are you guys up to for the egg season? And do you have any life stuff?
Oh, yeah, been busy, mate. Been busy.
What have you been busy with?
Got a new job.
Oh hell yeah!
Got another week off, and then I'm back. Then I'm in. So I'll be doing that before I start. Back at the office 3 days a week, so that'll bit of an adjustment. But
what are you, zookeeper? Is it?
Yeah. But in return for money, so that is the bit.
That's my favorite bit.
You always go, oh yeah, and then they get the money. Yeah, at the end of the month. Yeah. So that's good. So that's exciting. And then busy bank holiday weekend. Friday was at the pub. Sorry, the cat's at the window. Friday went to the pub. My friends and I have been going to for many years. It's closing. So we went in there for a few pints in the afternoon, so that was quite good. Enjoyed that. Came home quite drunk, had a Chinese. It was nice. Then what do we do Saturday again? Pub again.
He's keeping this pub going, actually.
Yeah, another pub near us, our new local. So went there with some friends, had a meal, a few beers. Very nice pub. Then today, roast dinner around my mum's, beef. Roasty beefy, pudding, Yorkshire pudding,
lovely.
A few bit of dessert. Yeah, it was nice. And the weather's finally picking up for Easter, so this is good. It's been a bit fucking cold for the last couple of weeks, but yeah, so a good week all in all. And then next week, obviously, gonna sort all those things I've been supposed to be doing around the house for the last 6 months. I'll just cram those into the week before I go back to the office, and then.
Was that like vacuuming?
Yeah, been saving that. I thought, don't bother doing it every week. Why not wait for it to build up?
Yeah,
and do it properly. You know what I mean? Yeah. So a bit of that. But yeah, it was all good. Probably got a bit of clothes shopping because, to be honest, since I went fully remote in 2020, I basically wear the same pair of jeans 5 times a week. Hoodie. Might change my t-shirt every 3 days if I can be bothered. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so I might actually go out and buy some new clothes for the first time in 5 years.
You are a wrestling fan. I'm just confirming that.
Yeah, you don't look good in the. You don't look like
pretty professional.
Yeah, you gotta look, presentable.
Yes, sir. Well, I did the washing. I'm going to show. You wouldn't know by my lovely background here for Joe Barry, but just out of view, it's my clothes horse with my clothes on it.
Oh,
so
nice.
I did the washing. So I will have clothes to wear. But no, seriously, had a lovely Easter weekend. Watched the footy, which was all in various ways very, very entertaining. Liverpool losing 4-0. Ooh, I had a right titter at that. Arsenal being beaten by Southampton. You better believe I was guffawing at that one. And West Ham Leeds, a bloody good game today. Went over to the parents, had some dinner over there. Had some lovely roast chicken, and I made my chips that we talked about on this podcast for about half an hour about 2 weeks ago. But I cut them into very thick wedges today. Changed it up. They were very good.
Nice.
Very good. And then, I got a lovely Easter egg here. I have it here. I'm going to show the guys. It's a Terry's chocolate orange egg. I don't know if you saw this in the shops. It's the marble egg, which means it is orange flavored, but
marble egg.
I'm going to coloring and texture on it.
Is it egg shaped? Because have you seen the
egg shaped
of the flat egg?
You can see that it was formerly eggish.
Yeah.
But then I'm not one of the people who opens the eggs into two perfect halves. I just smash it on the floor and then start eating.
Who's doing that? God.
I'm a real savage with that.
Unless you need to kind of imitate the noise of a horse galloping
and clop in
a radio play.
Holy Grail
you can go with the egg. But other than that,
my mouth was making that sound. Don't worry about it. You know that I do have historically great relationship with our local post office.
Yes,
that continues. So we have a new post office story. So I bought a package off someone in the US. This was not like a business. This was a customer to customer.
Okay.
Jobby. And they shipped it out and they gave me the tracking details. Love that.
Nice.
And it got all the way to... I arrived in Ireland on the 27th of March. And on the 31st of March, cleared customs. Got the confirmation on that. This is all USPS tracking. Okay. Checked on Post, which is the Irish Post Office. We have not received your parcel yet. We have not received your parcel yet. We have not received your parcel yet. As of today, we have not received your parcel yet. Okay.
Damn.
Just happened to check out of interest, right? You know the way you can go on the Post website and check custom charges. I said, what I'll do is I'll proactively check. I haven't got any notification that there are custom charges or anything, but I'll proactively go and check if there are, right? Put in the little tracking thing. Let me pull up the message here. Because I do not want to get this stated here. If you'll bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to check the tracking again, just to be sure that hasn't changed since I last looked at it. No customs, 31st of March, customs clearance. Customs clearance processing complete.
Okay.
I would take that as a positive sign. Okay. Pay the custom charge, pop in the same little old tracking ID. The time period for paying the custom charge for the below item has lapsed and the item has been returned. There is no longer a charge due for this item.
Okay. Excellent. No charge. Okay, cool.
Tremendous.
Think about that. So I checked this on the 2nd of April. So keep in mind, it cleared customs 31st of March. Typically you have 16 days to pay any charges. 2 days later, there's a message that says, sorry. So I got onto the post office, their little chat support, right? Of course, as you can imagine, I was very, very pleasant and nice about the situation. Not very short and angry. I said, here, what's this nonsense going on? Where's my parcel? And so the guy says, John from the post office, says, oh no, don't worry. There was actually no charges on that. And it'll be delivered in the next few days.
Okay.
This was on the 2nd of April. Now, granted, this was Thursday. Didn't come Friday. It's not going to come over the weekend, and it's not going to come tomorrow, because tomorrow is a public holiday in Ireland. So it might come Tuesday. But I feel like I'm in a limbo now, where I actually don't know what's going on. Do you know what I mean? This fella from the post office has told me, don't worry about it, it's coming. There was no charge, it's coming. The customs page specifically says it has been returned, and it has the guy's name. It has been returned to guy's name. Who am I to believe? Is it covered or is it not?
I trust John with my life. So
if it's not here by Wednesday, I'm going to be onto that fucking post office. I was saying, John said this, so where is it? I don't understand seriously though how we can get to like cleared Irish customs. I know customs is not the post office, by the way. I know that.
Yeah, but still,
like, where is it then? Come on, let's. I would expect on post would have at least updated with like cleared customs. So I don't know what it is or whether it'll ever come or.
Well, maybe next week you'll have it and it'll just all be silly memory. Your package will arrive after 3 days, you know.
But this is the thing. I understand why the need for customs. Don't get me. I understand what about customs, right? Just fucking study customs law at university. Don't give me that shit. Right? But it just seems that with Ireland specifically, it's just roll a dice whether or not things make it through or there's charges or not. You know, I've had deliveries where there 100% should have been charges, and for some reason there wasn't. I was like, and then I've had other things that like were so not little value because they weren't like 1 cent, but like, you know, a €20 DVD comes through. Well, there's a charge on it. Like, oh, what are the rules? It's madness. And of course, I've had stuff returned for apparently no reason. Oh, well, they didn't fill out exactly the little form where you have to tick the box if you want to, or to the newsletter. If you don't, you don't get your post. It's just a crapshoot. I don't know how any of that nonsense works. Just fucking bring me my post, for God's sake. Apart from that, lovely week. Let me open up the wrestling talk then to say,
alrighty,
this was my first experience with MyAEW.
Okay.
I don't know where you guys are in terms of the migration from Triller to MyAEW. Have you both crossed the line?
Yeah, Triller's gone.
Yeah, Triller's gone. Installed and everything.
Yes. So I don't have a lovely Fire Stick though for getting it up on the TV. I had to get the old Chromecast out. Base version Chromecast from 1952. It didn't have apps or anything on it. It's just you plug into the TV and a nice serene landscape comes up. And then I have to get my AEW up on the phone, browser edition, because there's no app on the phone. But I could Chromecast it from the phone just fine. So it was not 100% seamless, but to our point last week, it wasn't hook the laptop up to the TV situation, you know. I don't know if I'm working myself, but I do have myself convinced that the picture quality is a little bit better.
I think it is.
Yes, yeah, marginal, but yeah, it's there.
I don't know if it's a higher bit rate.
I think it must be, because I feel like they would be puffing their chest out big time if it was a resolution, like if it was a 4K. I think like they'd be saying that. It must just be a resolution. A bit rate thing.
It looked good. So I will say my experience so far has been very positive with it. Didn't ask me to log in 10 times like True does. File didn't break whenever I tried to skip 15 seconds ahead.
I'll tell you the best part. When I came out of it and then went back in, it picked up from where I left off instead of wanting to fast forward 15 seconds at a time.
Yeah,
that's the future.
10 minutes. Yeah. So perfect so far. Just
very good, and for the cheaper price. And of course, I did not watch either show live this week, both on a delay. So I'm still holding out reservation of judgment for the pay-per-view, which I will be watching live because I got that Monday off work, baby. 2 long weekends in a row. Don't matter if I do. So we'll see. That'll be, I guess, the ultimate test. But so far, very good. And yes, I uninstalled Triller as soon as I bloody could as well. Ooh, what a pile of shit. Although there's part of me that was a little bit sad that all those pay-per-views purchased.
Yeah.
You know, they'll be on MyAEW and you can still watch them, I guess, at your leisure. But, you know, something to be said for having that singular app basically since the company began. Yeah. With all your purchase history to now be gone. Wow. It's been a bit sad. Long live MyAEW in here. So we have a lot of real wrestling news to get to. I guess the first and most mainstream story is that the saga of Chris Jericho's return to WWE has concluded, and Gabo did return to AEW.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
Somehow he returned. So he's back.
Speak. Or
And
not
then-
very much in this case.
And then there was like a weird comment on Observer Radio where Dave was like, "Oh yeah, so I heard he might be going back," and so I text someone in WWE, and they said, "Oh yeah, he's not coming back, and he may never come back," which I thought was very odd wording. Because my assumption when he popped back up was just that, you know, Jericho, for all his faults, I mean, certainly we've talked about them on this show.
And there are many.
There are many. He is a tea leaf reader. You know, I think he is I think there's a reason he has never set foot in TNA even once.
Yeah.
You know, he knew there was more intrigue to be had in New Japan when he went to New Japan, and subsequently went to AEW when they launched in the absolute doldrums of the Vince era. And I think a lot has changed. When he first disappeared off AEW television, they were sinking like a stone, and WWE was heating up and super popular and all this other stuff, and it felt like the logical progression to go like, all right, I'll go. It used to be cool to be here, now it's more cool to be there. And in the time he's been twiddling his thumbs and interviewing, I don't know who has Reba, and you know, guys who sell snake oil on his podcast. In the time he's been doing that, the worm has kind of turned again, and now the sort of word of mouth and the general vibe on WWE couldn't really be much worse. And I'm not saying that's the ultimate factor, but I'm assuming both places were offering him lots of money, and my assumption was just that he chose to go to the place that felt a little less like a poison chalice right now.
They also wanted him. Well, there's one suggestion. WWE wanted him for like a retirement tour, basically, like a John Cena thing. I don't think Jericho thinks he wants to retire. I think he thinks he's got plenty of years ahead. I mean, he's a spry, 57 years old. He's got the Joe Biden years ahead of him. Just to keep going till he's 80. Yeah, maybe he wasn't. He's like, I'm not going to retire in 2026 or 2027, right? He thinks he could probably go till he's 60, maybe. Like Sting, Sting did it at 63.
I wonder if that was the thing he looked at. Yeah,
Jericho could probably do that. I mean, I am worried that he's going to be the full-time, just what we had before. It's going to be that Jericho again, which I really do not want. If it was like the Sting thing, I think that'd be okay. I don't necessarily know that I would like it, but I think that would be okay. I just pray that it isn't Jericho regular character on TV every week, having matches with good people who are having to like carry Jericho, because
work down to it.
He just can't. Yeah. Or same with Sting. Sting couldn't like work singles matches at the end. He couldn't like have a great match on his own, but he could really have really good matches, with a tag partner or with the hardcore gimmicks and stuff. Yes, I do worry we're getting like full on Jericho, not just cameo Jericho, but I think that's maybe what it came down to. And and all right, as Barry says, WWE is clearly the peak is over, the Attitude Era is over. we're into the post.
We're going to talk about that.
We'll talk about that.
And as Kenny Omega said on a podcast this week, it's like we're building towards Logan Paul and Mr. Beast.
Very much so.
It was such I love fucking completely entirely aloof Kenny on these podcasts and Twitter. That's great. But yeah,
it's funny though what you said with Jericho's hypothetically, let's say WWE were offering him a retirement tour thing. It's almost directly the inverse of what we see like Mariah May and Ricky Starks being offered, which is the less money to come over and maybe be on WrestleMania one day.
Yeah. Yeah. They know Jericho's not a mark, so.
Well, this is the thing. And look, on this podcast, I think in the past, I think we're very fair with. And actually, looking back, we kind of hedged our bets a little bit with Jericho in terms of not burying him out the door. But I think what we said was very fair in terms of we don't want to see him as a full-time working the young guys avenue anymore, right? I don't want to see Jericho start a feud with Kevin Knight. That to me is like the lowest thing on my preferred list.
Fair.
I think you can either, like you said, bring him in for a Sting type run, or even similar to a Sting, maybe not so similar to Sting, maybe closer to something ironically WWE does, but a part-time name you bring in, I think we said this, 4 or 5 times a year for some big matches that maybe we haven't gotten. Just name matches. Jericho, Swerve. Jericho, Omega again, a throwback to the original New Japan match. You know, for me, matches of that ilk are more interesting to me than Jericho against who's on the come up, like a Speedball or you know, to redo the Jericho Vortex in a sense, to redo what happened with Jericho and Starks and that kind of thing, Jericho and Garcia. I mean, to my mind, we've kind of proven that doesn't really work. It's not interesting to me. The other thing is Jericho coming in now. I wonder how they will manage the crowd reaction to him. There's something Meltzer touched on. Is, you know, towards the end of his last run in AEW, the fans were getting very tired of Jericho. So I wonder if there's I mean, I would think ultimately they would have to bring him in as a heel to manage that. But if they were to bring him in as a babyface, I wonder if there's a way to do that in a way that won't, like, for me to be, yeah, baby, yeah, Jericho, which I think is so grating and will immediately have the fans turned off. If he was to come in and play the, like, I'm Team AEW card in a real way, you know, if he was to come out and not do the whole yeah, baby shtick and the rock star shtick and like, look, I went away and I've decided to come back and I've decided to come back to AEW. I'm on this team. I didn't go to the other place. I decided to come here and be earnest about it. I think that would go some way to have the fans sort of reconnect with him, let's say.
Yeah.
But I think the rockstar fuzzy Jericho doing what was the like OnlyFans jokes to Paige Van Zandt, to reference again the Dan Lambert thing, this and that, you know, that stuff is not going to work in 2026. You know, like Jericho being the grating Y2J, I don't think it's going to work. I think he needs to do something else or be heel.
He needs to stop doing gimmicks. I just don't think no one wants to see the Painmaker. No one wants to see Y2J. No one wants to see the lists in the suit.
The Learning Tree.
No one wants to see Learning Tree or the Jericho Appreciation. Just be like Chris Jericho. Just be himself as much as, you know.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Don't do too bad things we hate about you, but do it.
Just be like Chris Jericho, wrestling legend. So that's the best I think he does. Just like, I don't know. God, I can't really see a good way for this to end.
I think ultimately we'll get something else. Whether or not it'll bomb like the Learning Tree thing did. Obviously, he trademarked Cornerstone. And I did notice, other people picked up on this, but I noticed while I was watching as well, the Titantron just said Jericho, and the commentators were referring to him as only Jericho, not Chris Jericho, which is why I make the Gabo joke earlier. So I wonder whether that's part of a conscious rebrand in line with whatever the gimmick's going to end up being.
Maybe, yeah. And you know, completely dropped the Learning Tree music and...
I mean, good.
No, absolutely. But yeah, it was kind of funny because we've talked a couple of times about his last appearance and how they left the door open for him to come back and feud with Bill and Keith. Another great act. They've done a good job of keeping warm while he was gone. You know,
speaking of Jericho working with the young guys, I did go through his Wikipedia just to refresh my memory of all the sort of young guys he'd allied with in his time in AEW. So I've got the list here. We've got Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, Santana, Ortiz, Daniel Garcia, Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, Sammy Guevara again, Tay Mello and Anna Jay, Big Bill and Brian Keith. Now, just looking through that list, I think one of them has been on AEW television in the last year.
Yeah.
He's Daniel Garcia in the Death Riders, and then Santana, to be fair, is the TNA champion, so maybe, I don't know, Jericho could take a little bit. But I'm just looking at a list here of people that... Oh, and of course, Action Andretti, who he, put on.
Oh, he put him over, brother. Exactly. They say Jericho doesn't make any stars. Well,
now, to be fair, can't blame Jericho for Action Andretti's failings.
No, but he did make out like, oh, this guy over in one night, I'll read him, now he's a star.
Yeah.
To be fair, you also did lose to like MJF, Orange Cassidy. Yeah. Quite a few people who are now big stars in AEW. So I don't know. Just a shame that WWE couldn't put that.
couldn't. Yeah, but it is funny that they seemingly just wanted to bring him in to do a retirement storyline. It's such a weird ask of people, but alas.
Well, that's their new masked man / person in the box. It's retirement.
Retirement, yes. Yeah. We'll stick with the comings and goings in AEW at the moment. We did have Hikaru Shida back on Collige, which is interesting, answering the challenge to Willow. So there you go. She lost in a challenge with TBS Idol.
They teased a super interesting heel turn, and then didn't do it.
I feel like if Shida's going to come back, I feel like you kind of have to do that. They've never done it with her before. It would be something a little bit fresh for her. She's good, so she's kind of at the top end of this collection. But I do have her in that collection of people that I'm like, all right, the division has passed her by. You know, she was the best. She was one of the best people in that division when it was pretty weak. You know what I mean? Would I have her on TV? Sure. I think she's a solid person to have TV matches with. I think that's fine. But if you want to do anything interesting with her, like push her and try and get people to take her, I think a heel turn. I think you got to do it. Just to keep her
turn TBS title. Have a little run with that. Beat Willow for it. Be a little heel TBS champion. The problem is, we talked last week about the fact that their women's heel side is fairly stacked. They don't have a lot of baby faces. But then don't turn teasing her heel. Bring her back as a baby face. Unless you're going to do the heel turn. Which I think I would have just done it there and then. I think it would have had more impact. And go into a Shida Willow rematch at the pay-per-view maybe. Or maybe slightly after the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So that's one to keep an eye on going forward.
Who's the back? I like Shida.
Yeah, good. You know, another good name to have. As again, I would have put her on the top end of that previous era. You know, lots of women's division news here. We had the AEW CMLL deal announced for Thunder Rosa, so that relationship goes from strength to strength. And I think this also highlights, you know, this is an example of something where you can take someone like Rosa who. It's off for ages, and then she's back and she's healthy now. But again, kind of feels like the division kind of passed her by. You sign these dual deals, she can go do something else. You know, she can go to CMLL and keep her profile up there. So there you go. Yeah.
I love the dual auto working both ways, or dual auto. I'm talking about dual contracts
partnership
because as I said, I'm surprised that we don't have. I mean. Not that the young guys, we were talking about people sending people to New Japan or CMLL just to get some experience. That's not quite the same thing. But I like that Surdu for Thunder Rosa, it was like, this is like a perfect solution for her to get a bit more exposure. And who knows, she might catch on really well in CMLL and come back to AEW, a bigger deal, or maybe just transition to CMLL more. And great, more options for people, and more options for people to not, you know, not saying this is Thunder Rosa's case, but options for people to not get stale. Yeah. Or if they do, can kind of siphon over to the other playlists and vice versa. It's great.
So that's another one. We had just before the broadcast, we had the news that Thek has re-signed with AEW well in advance of free agency. It sounds like big raise and a big old contract extension for her. And I think obviously we're big Thek boosters on this broadcast.
Sure.
I mean, it seems like this is one of the big home runs of AEW in the last year or so. And again,
for sure,
when we've talked about it before, not a literal unknown. Obviously, she had a little bit of a profile before. She was she wrestled, in Japan and stuff like that. But this is someone with zero US television exposure before she came to AEW. Relatively speaking, a complete unknown in that context. And they brought her in, took a chance on her, and struck while the iron was hot. You know what I mean? She heated up. She was one of the more interesting things in the division. They've pulled their punches on stuff like that in the past, but not this time. And they just said, fuck it. And they went with her. And I think it's been a huge win. She's been a great champion. She's a great part of the show. I think this is a wins all around here for both her and the company, I think.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's a little early to say, but I think she'll have to be in the conversation for total package come December.
I think that's a great shout. I think I'd like to see a bit of length on this reign, a few more pay-per-view matches, because she is kind of doing this thing where she doesn't wrestle super often. So I'd like to see a bit more of that. But yeah. And one last bit of women's division news there. I mean, Mercedes Moné has now effectively dropped all her belts bar, I think 1 or something like that.
The Owen, I think, is the last one. That doesn't really count. Doesn't really count.
Yeah, I think she's dropped all the ones from India. And like, to be fair, again, like, people had some skepticism when she won them all. She went back to Poland. She went back to Denmark. She lost a couple in the UK. We saw her lose some in AEW. In December, but then she actually went to Rev Pro. Funnily enough, I don't think she lost one of the Rev Pro titles in Rev Pro, because she lost them at the AEW taping we went to. But she was at Rev Pro. She lost some of the European ones there. I mean, she has gone back to all these places and works with the local talent and put them over, and I think that's great. And you would have to imagine that it's surely leading to her television return soon. After all of this,
maybe at the Pape, that'd be good.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, because we got Tekla and Hater at the Pape.
Oh, baby! If I haven't already paid for MyAEW, I'll be getting to watch it.
That is, I mean, that's a big one.
I might just get a second subscription to MyAEW as well. It's worth it.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great match. But I mean, you imagine that's a fairly easy win for Big Thek. And as we speculated on the last couple of weeks, I mean, do you bring Moné back as a face to challenge?
I think so.
I think that'd be interesting. That could be your double or nothing. That'd be a big double or nothing match. But yeah, so very cool, very cool. This whole thing has been really cool for Moné. A lot of people would have won those belts, and then Booker Man, I'm posting you something here. Have it back.
Post an autograph. There was some controversy with the last title, the Malaysia title, where they couldn't come to an agreement or something to fly her over in time.
Someone said they didn't have the money to fly her out, and then so she just vacated it, and they couldn't do a promotional thing. And it was a whole thing. I don't think anyone there's a bit of controversy.
That was
I think it was
championship that happened.
I think it was WWE fans going, she should have flown herself out there if she really cared. Those sort of people.
I think the people with the Moné derangement syndrome, they were gagging for her not to be able to defend any singular one of them, so they could pretend she was Mercedes Hogan. That's the new thing everyone loves when a wrestler wins a match. Yeah. Fucking Johnny Hungy could win a match on Ring of Honor, and wrestling fans would go, Johnny Hogan getting the win. I mean, it's like people just don't know what Hoganing is, in the modern context. But yeah,
didn't Johnny Hogan win the Eurovision a couple of times?
Yeah, he did back in our glory days, back when Ireland was on top.
Brother, let me tell you, gonna beat Sweden. Why was he doing a macho man voice? I don't know.
Let me tell you. So well done, Moné. Looking forward to back. And again, I mean, there's been so many returns in AEW lately. I mean, if you're getting Moné coming back to the pay per view, we are truly cooking there.
Oh, we're as the kids say.
On the outs, or not necessarily on the outs, but on the other side of things, we did have Willie Mack kind of joining the
strange one.
Joining the. I was about to say Andrade, formerly Andrade. Now he's a happy man. now he's a very happy man. But once upon a time, the Andrade Phoenix Miro club of expressed dissatisfaction with. It's just specifically with just his lack of getting bookings. So there was some back and forth about. He basically just said, look, he was complaining about money woes and stuff like that, and so there was some back and forth with different reporters about his status. Basically, it seems like he first of all, I completely forgot he was a contracted wrestler. When this story broke, I had no clue that he was even a contracted guy ever. I guess he was. He was contracted. They didn't have anything for him. He was a regular in ROH. Seems like his deal came up, and they offered him. He went from a salaried guy to a per appearance guy, where they would give him a deal. But it would only be based on how often he would come in, which is considered like the bottom rung. And he was basically like, didn't want to take it, but was like, well, that's the deal I have, and that's it. So he took it, but is not happy about his lack of booking. So he's delayed. I mean, I don't know. On the one end, if you want to go off about it. I mean, it's a free country. It's not like, it's not like you kind of owe these companies anything, but I mean, has this worked for anyone? I mean, he's been saying he's been getting in touch all the time, trying to see if they have anything for him. It's like, but do you think when you pick up the phone or you send off that email after you do the Twitter thing that they're going to go, okay, how about now? How about now? Am I main event in Dynamite now? I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of funny because this got a lot of attention this week, but I was like, it's a Ring of Honor guy. I mean, I like Willie Mack. I've been a fan of his race, but I'm like, I don't care that a guy who's on a per appearance deal with a Ring of Honor is unhappy that he's on Ring of Honor. It's kind of like we were talking about with the previous generation of women's wrestlers like Shida and your Anna Jays and stuff. I'm like, where would you stick this guy? Do you know what I mean? With this competition. So yeah, I don't know if there's any.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, you want to be compassionate somewhat about,
of course,
whatever circumstances are, but like the reality is that, you know, nothing in any walk of life is like certain or is owed to you.
No.
And look, I mean, Willie Mack, I enjoyed a lot in the old Lucha Underground days. I mean, that was 12 years ago. I mean, I don't know if I don't watch a lot of Willie Mack nowadays. Would it be fair to say that his better years are behind him?
Oh, I mean, he's
possible.
He's a JCW World Tag Team Champion.
Oh yeah. That's
so
true.
I don't know.
Well, that's Tony Khan's best friend, so probably he's
Oh yeah, which Tony Khan is allegedly tuned into. It seems.
Along with Too Tough Tony. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you're a wrestler, it's not a job really, is it? It's an opportunity to get over.
You're a free
star.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like, oh, I'm gonna you're paying me to turn up and wrestle. It's like, well, no, I'm paying you to kind of be available. And if you're in a spot you get over, then you might get more opportunities. It's not like a normal job where, right, we've got 5 matches for you to wrestle this week. So once you get those done, you can knock off early. It's like, well, that's just the business. It's entertainment. It's harsh, but that's it, isn't it? It's like acting. You go for auditions, you don't get it, you don't work.
Unless, and I don't know this to be a fact, but unless the per appearance deal with AEW is somehow limiting on your freedom to go take things. I don't know.
He's been wrestling for JCW like every week.
Unless he has to get like permission to do that is what I mean.
Which I think he does, but I don't know that they are too restrictive on that. Do you know what I mean? Again, I don't know. None of us are on the email trails, you know.
Because I mean, what's the difference between the situation he's in and someone who's just a pure indie wrestler? Is my point. Unless or except that you have someone to point the finger at and say, you know, these people aren't answering my calls, and I'm on a deal with them, you know.
So there you go. I mean, the situation as it stands that he is still contracted in the Tony Khan verse.
Yeah, you know, sure, like that Steve Austin gimmick he did, and I don't know anything else he's ever done. Does he still do the Steve Austin?
I don't think so. I think that was a Lucha Underground.
Well, specifically Lucha. Yeah. I think even Shark Boy should be a tag team. There you go.
But there you go. That's Willie Mack, and that's your AEW kind of comings and goings contract news situation. Yeah. Before we get to WWE, surprise result in the week: Callum Newman won the IWGP Championship. A 23-year-old Brit, Osprey prodigy. Surprising. So he won the New Japan Cup, which I think people were mildly surprised at, which entitled him to a shot at Yota Tsuji. And I think the vast majority of people thought that was just business as usual. Okay, new guy, giving a little push to a new guy. He wins the New Japan Cup. He faces a champion. He'll have a fine effort where he'll lose and get over in losing presumably. But no, they belted him up, brother. Which, you know, I have never seen a Callum Newman match, so I can't pretend to know. But
I've seen plenty.
Some people seem relatively into him. I think, it seems kind of early to take it off Tsuji. Do you know what I mean?
That was my first thought.
That seems to be the controversial thing. But then conversely, I'm just kind of like, but also, this is a company that needs to take big swings, you know, and try new things and get new people over.
Very much so. Yeah.
But yeah. So you would agree on the premature nature of the change, Paul?
I mean, I was more surprised by, you know, Tsuji, who's the new kind of savior of New Japan, the Tanahashi reincarnate.
Yeah.
To lose the belt after like 3 months with it. I was not surprised by that. You know, Newman I've seen in the G1 a bunch. And I don't know whether, you know, I don't keep up with New Japan otherwise. But I was never blown away by him. He's another sort of, not that he wrestles like Dave Finlay, but you know, when those guys, mid-level New Japan guys who you see, you know, they're fine. In a sense, is what I complained about in the G1. Is the American style influence on modern Japanese wrestling. It means you get a load of guys who don't wrestle like New Japan guys. which is, I mean, I guess that kind of began with Kenny and AJ and guys like that being so prevalent in New Japan in the mid 2010s. But like when I watch the G1 or I watch New Japan, I want to go back to Wrestle Kingdom 9 sort of era where, oh my God, these guys are killing each other. The shoot for all intents and purposes, you know. Callum Newman is very much not that to me. So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't rate him above like a Kevin Knight, for example. Kevin Knight wasn't doing much in, you know, I don't know if Kevin Knight was New Japan strong more so than New Japan, but like he's okay. Newman's okay. Nothing special. So yeah, I was surprised. I was very surprised. But like you said, New Japan need to take more swings or, you know, do something because, you know, ever since a lot of their guys migrated to AEW, it does seem like they've been treading water a little bit.
Well, they lost the dogs. You know, they lost the dogs.
Although one of the dogs was back. Gabe Kidd.
Oh yeah, I saw the
AEW t-shirt.
The AEW shirt. What a great bit. What a great bit. I kind of remind
you. Kissing the badge.
Yeah. He should have on the Dynamite before he went over. He should have kissed the AEW logo before he left.
Gabe Adebayor running in, hitting the pile driver.
That was one of the other things I saw suggested for Jericho. That'd be a great Jericho. He should do a Cody parody gimmick where he should come out every single week and talk about how he doesn't want to talk about why he's gone for the last year.
That would be very funny. Come up to the elevator as well.
Yeah, come up to the elevator and just talk about how he's, you know, the past is the past. Guys, stop asking me. Let's not talk about why I haven't been here. Let's talk about the future and then do the same thing on Collision.
Should take a picture of all the guys that have come back from WWE, like him backstage, him with like Andrade. Oh, Ricochet, Andrade. Yeah.
Ricochet, yeah. Excellent. Oh, very good. Elsewhere in the news for the week, we did have a legendary edition of Friday Night SmackDown, it sounds like.
Oh yeah, as I said, guys, we don't cover WWE anymore unless the Schadenfreude is too good.
If it's too juicy.
What are these people doing over there? What are they doing?
How do I?
Insane build to WrestleMania.
Who is Pat McAfee and why is he on? Why? I get if it's like Bad Bunny. The Little Yachty is another man apparently involved. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know this gentleman, but apparently he's a recording artist. You got who was the guy last year? Big Rick.
He's from AEW.
No, little.
All right, Luke's again.
Big Tracy. Something.
Big Tracy, yeah. Big Tracy, yeah.
Who was around the main event last year? The rapper or the singer?
Oh, Travis Scott.
Big Travis Scott.
Tracy Morgan of 30 Rock.
You got Jelly Bean. Jelly Bean, who's a Jelly Bean. Some racist white rapper. But they're big, like, apparently I'm reliably told they're like big celebrities. Pat McAfee is like a podcaster. Like, why are we?
Yeah.
Well, he's a football. He's a
footcasters. Like,
and it seems like he's it seems like it's just knows the right people, you know, like Ari Emanuel and Nick Khan. Seems like they all like this guy and they're bought in on the idea he could be a crossover star. Do you know what I mean? But what my point about this thing, right? Was I was reading all that people were just going off about how insanely bad this was, and so I guess so. Again, I'm so tuned out that I was learning this all this week because people were so furiously talking about it. So I guess they're having an issue where like Randy Orton is like getting cheered over Cody because Cody has once again Cody'd himself and can't get cheered as the top guy in this promotion anymore, even though he was like tie-in like Jesus Christ walking on water when he first came back to the promotion. He was the most over man in the last 20 years of wrestling. Now he's booed again. Another Levesque masterpiece there. But so they're having this thing and they were doing this storyline build-up thing where Orton was on the phone to someone, some co-conspirator, some mastermind, and they pay it off with like heel Pat McAfee comes out, right? And so McAfee and Orton are aligned, which of course is terrible.
But McAfee best known for standing on the announce table and yeeting along to
and
Dave's.
yeeting and making a buffoon of himself.
That's like his high school.
But it's just funny. I was just reading this and I was like, I don't know. I was watching this. I was like, wasn't that shit you people were all pretending was cool 2 years ago? Did you all love fucking Pat McAfee and he's so funny and so cool and you love fucking Pat McAfee? I was like, I read the results of shows where WWE fans are shitting all over. I'm like, this just looks like the stuff you like. I don't understand why this one's bad.
I think it's an accumulation of a lot of things on once.
I think it is the straw that broke the
camel's
camel's back. People are fed up with this Mania
so
build.
another thing where you would say exactly the same thing, Barry, is this not the fucking shit that you guys were clamoring for 2 years ago? Is they do a segment where Sami Zayn has no WrestleMania match, right? Mm-hmm. And he gets an impromptu title shot against Carmelo Hayes and beats him and wins the title and now has a match, right? You would think, well, give the fans what they want, right?
Yeah.
In 2026, people don't want Sami Zayn anymore. They want Carmelo Hayes.
Yes.
So literally stripped the title off him and now he's no match at WrestleMania.
But he's Sammy Hogan. You see, he's Sammy Hogan. That's the problem. He's
using his backstage pull to win the United States title.
Famously agreeable Sami Zayn, who everyone gets on with. Looking at this card of the SmackDown, which is currently, I got the list up here. It is number 4 all-time worst rated show on Cage Match. A shiny gold coin. If either of you can name the other shows.
Legends of Wrestling.
Heroes of Wrestling remains number 1 at a .025.
I did see this rundown. There was also like an NXT show in there, but I've no idea what.
So yeah, I'll cut you all some slack. A lot of these are random episodes of TV that you'd never remember. You've got NXT episode 32. This is remember the Divas? Remember the Michael Cole doing his tight 5 every fucking week about how bad the show was. One episode of that. A Thunder from 2000, from April 2000. I can't remember what that is. This episode of SmackDown. Super Showdown 2020. That was the Australian pay-per-view with Undertaker and Triple H, I think it was. Just some Monday Night Raw 1558 from April 2023. No clue what that is. They main event and superstars. Like, who cares? There was I don't care about shows with jabronis on them. Some of these are a little bit funny. But yes, that SmackDown is on there. But looking at the cards, Rhea Ripley defeats Michin in 9 minutes. Uncle Howdy defeats Tama Tonga in 7 minutes. Why 7? That sounds
well, hang on. This is very important because Tama Tonga gave Uncle Howdy his lantern back.
Oh, hey, pardon me. Ooh. Well, the inmates gave that 3.4 out of 10 on Cage Match. Aleister Black defeats Matt Cardona. I mean, I don't even think GCW would book that on WrestleMania weekend. Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair defeated Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Fair enough. Damian Priest and R-Truth defeat Kit Wilson and The Miz. Jeez, Kit Wilson has really fallen on hard times since Game of Thrones, let me tell you.
Damian Priest more so. He's champion with R-Truth.
Yeah, they're tag champions. He was the world champion 3 champions ago.
Yeah.
Not that long ago, and then Sami Zayn defeated Carmelo Hayes. Yeah,
that tag team match had Danhausen interference. Danhausen, right, debuted, remember, to this weird debut that people didn't like. And then got over immediately with his Danhausen shtick, right? He's on every single show, in almost every single backstage segment. They are running this guy into the ground as quick as they can.
Yeah.
Give him 2 months and people will hate him.
He's a new R-Truth.
I think he is new. I think they think he's the new R-Truth. I think he's going to be their guy that at a certain point he'll have a segment with Ron Simmons where he'll say, "You damn me, I'll curse you."
I'll curse you, Ron Simmons. No, we won't call him Ron Simmons. We'll call him Ron Farouk. That's funny. Ron Farouk.
Great joke. But yeah,
he sounds good. SmackDown. I might check it out.
I think, like I said, I don't think the matches are the problem. It's more so this build for WrestleMania is honestly, and I say this without my WWE hater hat on, one of the worst of all time since I started watching. Certainly, Cody Rhodes Orton is a inbuilt, already existing storyline. Right? They used to be in Legacy. Cody didn't take off. You could do a Orton held me down.
Yeah. Which they love doing that stuff. Yeah.
Left and came back. And then Cody has kind of usurped Orton at the top of the card, and you could do stuff with that. But they're doing Orton has these voices, man. And then Stephanie McMahon is confronting Cody Rhodes and slapping him and just fucking big leaguing the stars like Stephanie McMahon loves to do. And says, you need to fucking pay attention to these voices Randy Orton has in his head. And then Randy Orton's mentor is revealed to be a commentator for some reason, which is even worse than Vampiro being like Penta's a decade ago.
Yeah,
makes even less sense than that. It's just like, okay, I am very anti-WWE anyway, but to be honest, every year at WrestleMania, there's something I have a minimal interest in checking out. Gunther against Sheamus against Drew McIntyre sounds fun.
Right.
Cody against Roman Reigns. This year there is nada. Let me tell you, even a passing interest, there is nothing shows. They have absolutely killed the product for all intents and purposes. And they've killed it so dead.
And just for us to be as partisan as humanly possible, I mean, those 2 nights of Mania, I mean, it just looks like dreck. I mean, it looks
terrible.
But like, just wait, listeners, until we get into the review section of this when we preview this fucking Dynasty card, which is not even top 3 of AEW's like yearly fucking highlights on pay-per-view. Like when we get to that preview, I mean, this card looks insane, and it's only half built because they had a quick turnaround, right? So they've got to add like 4 more matches. But already before they have, I mean, it looks absolutely spectacular. But yeah.
But just one more point on WWE before you go on. Is they have taken it so far that they have now fallen back into that old trap, which they haven't done pre-Bloodline, which again, when they were doing the Bloodline, everyone was fucking loving WWE. Mm-hmm. And even I was admitting some of this shit is pretty fucking good, right? They've gone back to Pat McAfee came out and cut a promo about how awful WWE is, and how the ticket sales are down, and this and that, right? And over on Raw, where they're doing the actual main event, CM Punk and Roman Reigns, they're arguing about how old the other one is and how shit the other one is. Yeah. So they've fallen back into that trap of the storylines being about how awful the company is.
Yeah.
It reminds me of, remember a year or 2 ago when every promo on AEW was about restoring the feeling, and the fact that they talked about it so much just there to remind you that it wasn't good. You know, I'll tell you what it's like, Barry, and I don't know if Joe saw this episode, but it's, you know, the very first episode of the Nirvana the Band TV show where they do the bit about, you can't say the show's going to be good. You got to say it's going to be bad. And he comes out and goes, ladies and gentlemen, the show you're about to see, it's going to be a bit of a piece of shit. That's what these promos are like. So, I mean, and again, Stephanie McMahon coming out to build her like
what are they doing?
We need something big.
We need something big.
A McMahon segment.
Give me at least at the fans McMahon. Oh, we didn't even talk about that's kind of a downer news. More and disgusting.
They mentioned
shit. Yeah,
but they think that the fans love Stephanie McMahon. I guess some of them do. I mean, the most annoying presence on WWE TV in the last 20 years.
I feel like, but I feel like even in real time, 20 years ago, she was the one people didn't like. Like people liked Vince, and people liked to hate Vince, and people loved Shane. I feel like she was the one that even in real time, people didn't like Stephanie. Do you know what I mean? Like it was so
Stephanie coming out to like berate Cody. What? And
I made
apart from Triple H.
I made this point on Blue Sky. I was like, McMahon's all over the product won most disgusting promotional tactic in 2003. And they're still trotting them out to quote unquote save angles. I mean, the ego on these people, that's the other thing about them. The ego on the McMahons. Fucking hell. Anyway,
but that's the funny thing is WWE fans have totally turned around on it again. Like people hate the product. Yeah, they won't watch anything else. They just want WWE to be good. But they're back to that 2019 mindset where they all fucking hate it. Like,
and I think you're right. I think they're too dug in. I think the psychology has changed so much. I think WWE, their machine, to their credit, they're, you know, gotta hand it to ISIL type situation. They have successfully conditioned huge swaths of the public to think they are wrestling, and wrestling is WWE. Yeah. And anything, it doesn't matter if it's on national television with a big budget and huge stars. Everything else is fucking indie super kick fucking mud show. They've won that fight for the most part. They have. So, but you know what their fans get for falling for that trap is they watch 8 hours of programming they hate every week for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. And the irony is the things they complain about, particularly with regards to AEW, WWE do all the time as well. So I don't understand why that's. fair enough if you're like, they don't dedicate as much time to promos and stories, and I like that. That's a fair criticism. But the stuff about like to kick out of everything and do super kicks the whole time, it's like, do you ever watch?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a wrestling thing. That's not an AEW thing for sure. But yeah, so that's enough WWE talk to last us a while. Before we segue into our features, I will say, I was just aware of this because I'm going to put a jumper on because I'm cold. I got a nice delivery. Sorry, Paul, to rub it in your face. I got this lovely jersey this week that the host can see here. But the lads can. I'm a football jersey owner now. You know, I got my Willow Nightingale jersey from. It's really fucking cool. So I liked the design when they were advertising it. And this one, I will say now, it's fucking priced like a football jersey. It's not priced like a wrestling shirt. I'll say that. It's not priced like your typical fucking Gildan 1 hour tees tripe. It was, including delivery, about 80 quid for this bad boy. But when it arrived, I mean, I am kind of blown. Like, it feels like a jersey you would go and buy in it, like an actual like football jersey you'd buy in a shop. So it's real deal good quality. I have to take really good care of it. The crest is like, it's like, it feels like an actual crest, like an actual. So they put the effort. It's really cool. For anyone who doesn't, I forgot, we actually don't do a video podcast. For anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, it's the AEW, I think Blacksmith brand. Yeah, they do football jerseys, and they did a Swerve, a Kenny, a Darby, and a Willow, and I got the Willow. And it is very, very nice indeed. Sold out in like 2 hours on the AEW. So I had to go to the Blacksmith site because they still had some. But very happy with that. So yeah, extremely rare that like you get some like wrestling merch that oftentimes it's not even worth the 20 quid you spend on it. But I was willing to spend the extra few, and I really liked it. So yeah, so now I'm going to cover it because I'm really cold. Paul, why don't you hit us with the fantasy update for the week?
Okie doke. So Kyle Fletcher is injured. We don't know to what extent because I didn't mention it on Collision, but they were talking about it. So I'm starting to look at the wallet and see if there's any fucking transfers in there, but we're starting to run low on them. So I'm not going to do any transfer anyways, the long and short of it. I've already made 3 of my 5 allotted throughout the year, and then again we get 2 in July, I want to say was the agreed transfer window.
Yeah.
Just checking that month. It is July. Okay, so I might fucking hold on to July. Anyway, we all had decent weeks. Joe scored a 21. I had an 18. And Barry had a 21. So again,
you've got 21. I've got 20.
But with the 2 of you guys, just ever so slightly better again. Yeah, I'll be saying my nightly prayers for Mercedes to reappear ASAP, because I do feel like, as okay as my team is doing, but obviously behind, she will be the driving force for me back to the top of the line. So I mean, I'm about to cross the 300 point mark. Both of you are looking far at the horizon back at it. Barry on 370 and Joe about to cross the 400, 398. So still only 28 points between 2 of you, and I'm a fair distance behind. But I do feel like, okay, obviously it comes. I'm not gonna fucking pass the buck here. Obviously it comes to predicting and picking, and that's on me. But I've had some bad luck. I've had some bad luck this year. Kyle Fletcher got injured as well, and Bandito has been injured, and his visa is having problems, and Mercedes hasn't come back. Oh, they're my top 3 picks. So that ain't good. Thank God for Megan Bain. She's been holding the fort for me. Mark Briscoe as well. All right, Mark, where are you gone?
Yeah, where is he gone? Actually, yeah.
Where's Mark Briscoe? Where's Chris Statlander? What's she doing? So yeah, tough all time. We'll say of the top 6 wrestlers in the company of year to date, Joe has the top 2. I have number 3, and then Barry has 4, 5, and 6. So that's where all the top 5 currently are Tekla, Speedball Bailey, Kyle Fletcher, Kevin Knight, and Big Mox up at the top. Also with the most matches, himself and Kevin Knight joined on 6. So Kevin Knight and John Moxley are number 1 and 2 for the year, and are number 1 and 2 in matches. Matches had. Mark Davis, number 3. Mark Davis, actually, someone that I didn't think was going to have much of a year, but he's...
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
He's just hovering below the top 10. He definitely would have been a nice little pickup for kind of 8th, 9th, 10th draft, but I don't think anybody foresaw that coming. There's push.
You don't want to drop Fletcher and bring in Jericho. I'm just sorry.
You're beating my ass well enough. Don't worry.
Maybe I'll get Jericho.
Yeah, if you want to trade it.
No one beats me to it.
No, I mean, look, this is something I was looking at is that if you look at my team, right, I have 4 wrestlers, Bandito, Mercedes, Mark Briscoe, and now Mystico, who I traded in. 4 wrestlers who are on under 6 matches. Joe doesn't have a single wrestler under 6 matches. And Barry has 1, and it's Will Ospreay, who's just come back.
Yeah.
So nearly half of my team have not even had 6 matches yet. So. What can I say? Bandito only 3 matches, Mercedes none, Mystico 3, Briscoe 5. That there is the difference.
Surely Mercedes will be doing some business once she comes back.
So if we're not doing any transfers or anything, that is essentially your fantasy update. We obviously have pay-per-view number 2 next weekend.
Yes.
So far, not looking like it's going to be especially kind to me, but I guess we'll see.
But as I mentioned earlier, it feels like they're going to. I mean, I feel like on Dynamite and Collision, they're going to have to hang out. I mean, these are the inverse of the WWE shows. These things are bursting at the seams with matches, and right now they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They got 5. No, sorry, they got 4 and 1 on the pre-show. So they're going to add a lot. So you might get lucky. But again, a lot of your guys are MIA.
Let's get the old Divine Dominion wrestling 3 times, please, and win every match.
Yeah.
That's what I
Tag
need.
Team Turmoil where each match counts. Alrighty. New quiz on the pod. New Barry Life quiz here for the boy.
Here we go.
Whoa, Barry! What the fuck?
That's right.
I'm gonna take an Ortiz back bump off.
Right. All right. This one, right? It's called Chad Stable, like Chad Gable, right? Like that.
Love it.
Now it's not. This one's not dissimilar to I think. Is it Only Lore Connect where Paul gives us a guy and then another guy, and we have to figure out what the connecting factor is.
Yes.
Is that,
Yes.
Similar to that, similar format to that, right? I might have nicked this off various other people on the internet who do this. This is not original concept, but the way this is going to work is okay. I have assigned to both you gentlemen a category of wrestler. It can be very broad. It can be very specific. Okay, you don't know what they are. Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah.
You'll take turns going back and forth saying, can I have so-and-so? Is so-and-so in my category? And I'll say yes, or I'll say no. And you will simply keep track of who is or is not in your stable, and you have to try and guess what your category is. So if Paul were to correctly guess Steve Austin, The Rock, Kane, and I said yes, and if he said Mercedes Moné and he said no, he would presumably go Attitude Era wrestler, and I'd say yes, Paul, well done, you win. Right, so
are we both playing the same category trying to guess, or are we playing separate categories?
No, so you have one Paul, and you have one Joe. Okay. So the way this works is, Paul, you'll go first. You'll say a wrestler. I'll just say yes, no. After each wrestler, you can have a guess if you want. If you don't have enough, you don't feel like guessing, you don't have to. You just go back and forth. So it'll be a little bit quick fire. You'll ask one. I'll say yes, no. Straight to Joe. He'll say one. I'll say yes or no. If you guys want to keep a little record either to yourselves or
I have my notepad open here.
On a doc of who is and is not in your category. And so at any point, you can just say, is my stable, we'll play Chad Stable, right? So is my stable this, right?
Okay.
And the first person to guess it is the winner. And again,
so it's a stable, it's not a category. It's a
no, it's a category. Stable is just a cute name.
Oh, okay.
It's a category. It could be.
That's what I thought, but then you said it was a stable.
Yeah, sorry. That is. Let the record show that is just a cutesy name. It is. Okay. It is a category of person. Like I said,
it's for all intents and purposes a reverse Only or Connect where we have to guess the people instead of being given the people, and then guess what the
and then guess what the category is. Yes, and to keep it easy because it's the first time we're doing this, I would say this. This is AEW wrestlers, just for this first one, right?
Okay.
And you've each got one. We're just going to do one round of it, and we might do more of it next week if you like it. But we will start there. So I'm flipping a coin in my heads. Paul, call it.
Heads.
It is heads. Well done. Okay, so you may begin.
Can I have Kenny Omega?
You cannot. Joe.
Okay, no Kenny Omega.
Billy Gunn.
No.
Can I have Tony Storm?
No.
Ooh.
Darby Allin.
No.
Okay, I need to write down who I've said already because I'm going to forget. And I'm going to just put a big X next to them. Okay. Can I have Matt Jackson?
You may not. No.
Cody Rhodes. Is it current AEW wrestlers?
It's current. It's current.
Oh, current. Okay, skip him. Dustin Rhodes.
No.
Can I have Ricochet?
No Ricochet.
Andrade El Idolo.
Yes, Joe. You may have Andrade El Idolo.
Okay.
Oh, Joe, you can have a guess, by the way. You get a guess? Yeah.
People that have wrestled for WWE and AEW.
No. Good guess, but no.
Okay. Can I have Kazuchika Okada?
Yes, you may have Kazuchika Okada.
Okay.
You can have a guess if you'd like, Paul. You don't have to take one, but...
No, I'm good.
Okay. Joe?
Hechicero.
You may have Hechicero, yes.
Oh, dear.
If you have a guess, you can pop one off.
Is it Don Callis family members?
It's Don Callis family members. He's done it very well.
Baby.
Oh.
Very good.
And for a bit of pride, Paul, we can keep going if you
Yeah. Let's please get going, Joe. If you want to jump in on this, so I've got no to Omega, Tony Storm, Matt Jackson, Ricochet, and I have yes to Okada. So for Okada, I was thinking IWGP World Champions, but Omega was a no. I was thinking international champions, but Omega was a no.
Continental Classic finalists or winners.
Could be. It's a very small group. Well, they've done what? A couple now. Can I have Will Ospreay?
No, Will Ospreay.
Okay, so it's not that. Okada and no one else. We'll try Takeshita.
No Takeshita.
I was just thinking Japanese wrestling. Is that right? Takeshita.
So Japanese. No Continental Classic finalists. Oh, no, it was Takeshita. No, Trish was in the final.
Yeah, well, I guess Ospreay.
Oh, you said Ospreay. Takeshita.
That was the best Continental Classic final. Not G1 winners. Okada.
You said it's not the Elite. She said Omega.
No, I
first,
guess
right?
Omega and Matt Jackson.
People in the 2024 casino.
Can I have Adam Page?
You cannot have Adam Page.
Not that so. I was thinking something and I forgot what it was. Okada. Can I have Jay White?
You cannot have Jay White.
Fuck. My God. What's so tad I got that other people don't?
Well, interesting question to ask.
I know. AEW wrestlers. Well, I was thinking even like lariat finishers. I was thinking like hair color.
Interesting.
Beginning with
But Adam Page is a lariat finisher. Doesn't count. Ospreay we have no already. No Japanese
debut.
wrestling.
When did Okada debut? 2020.
Right before Forbidden Door 2022. Oh, sorry. Debut was
full
Big
debut.
Business. Yeah, the same show as Mercedes.
So 2024. Maybe 2024 debuts or something.
Yeah, it was 2024. Can we have Mercedes,
No,
man?
you said.
Yeah, you asking for Mercedes?
Yes, please.
No, you may not have Mercedes.
Bastard.
This is a tough. Or maybe it's not because it was paired up with Don Callis Valley. It just seems like you're.
Yeah, it
I
could
forget his name.
be obvious, but
I think I'm overthinking it as well.
trios titles.
Well, I guess Omega and I guess Matt Jackson as well. They're trios.
Could be.
They're the first trios champions.
Or like multiple titles. No, Omega.
Omega again, yeah. Okada. Okay, I think we just need to keep guessing some people.
Yeah, get some names. That's it's rapid fire. You know, you can just rack some names on the board.
Let's have
New. Keep going.
Who else would be good? Let's have Cody.
Not a current AEW.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're right. Yeah. Can we have Chris Jericho?
New.
Mystico.
Yes.
Oh,
Mystico is a yes. Okay.
Maybe it's trio. Trios.
Well, no, it can't be trios.
But wow.
We have trios, people on there with big fat X's. Mystico, and then I was thinking is something like Observer Wrestler of the Year, but like so many people on there, Ospreay and Omega, sure. Or Draw or whatever.
Mystico
and Okada.
The lads. Oh,
The lads.
Is it bloody great wrestlers? Is it?
That's like Kenny Omega's not on there.
Shit.
Mystico. Speedball.
So was that
Speedball Bailey.
Speedball Bailey on there? Yes.
Speedball's on there.
Is it people that have held the trios title this year?
No.
Kevin Knight?
Yes, is on there.
Kevin Knight, Speedball, and Mystico, they're third trios champions, of course. Okada held it with Fletcher and Mark Davis. Can we have Mark Davis?
No.
Okay.
They're screaming at home.
I know they are.
Probably not.
Mystico, Speedball, Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Okada, and no one else.
Was it the last Continental Classic?
What about it?
No, Mystico wasn't. That was the. Of course not.
No, Mystico's I don't think they've ever been in the Continental Classic.
No. There was a faction.
Okada, Mystico, Speedball, Kevin Knight, not Mark Davis. Can we have Fletcher?
You can have Kyle Fletcher, yes.
Kyle Fletcher, but not Mark Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, the five we have are all within the last two Trios champions, but not Mark Davis.
Oh, are they all like non-American AEW wrestlers?
No.
Something like that? No.
No, well, Kevin Knight.
Kenny Omega.
No, we don't have Kenny Omega. We don't have.
That's what I'm saying. He's Canadian, so that would.
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
But Kevin Knight is American anyway. This is really tough.
Again, shoot some names, throw some names out there. Again, there's no penalty for guessing. No penalty for guessing.
Mark Briscoe.
No.
Oh, was it Gold League?
No.
The Continental Classic?
No, Mystico wasn't in the.
Oh yeah. I'm just trying to think anything else Okada. What has Okada done? We're focusing on Okada a lot.
You are.
Yes.
Okay.
Speedball, Kevin Knight, Mystico, and Kyle Fletcher. I mean, Kyle Fletcher is one who's compared to all the rest of them. Kyle Fletcher is really solid AEW guys.
There's enough fireworks on my fucking street. We're celebrating Jesus' resurrection from the dead. Jesus fucking Christ. Go inside and watch some telly or something.
Iran as a
Oh yeah, they're celebrating.
Reach the south of Ireland.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh fuck.
I mean, Fletcher also. Yeah, it's funny because all the people we have like won titles this year as well. Can we have Tekla?
You can have Tekla, yes.
Oh,
that is interesting.
They've all won titles.
Yeah, but Mark Davis has, and he's not in the group for some reason.
They've all lost titles. They've all won.
Oh no, because Mark Davis has.
They've all.
Oh, hang on. Wait. I think I have it. It is easy. Yeah, can I have MJF?
Yes.
Is it just current AEW champions?
Current AEW champions, yeah. Current AEW champions. See, I thought when you got Don Callis, you were really overthinking that one. You were really overthinking that.
I like that one.
But yeah,
I think Tekla was obviously the one that helped me get it. But I looking at them, I was like, wait a minute, they all have belts right now.
I think, yeah. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that again next week. We'll.
I
think the key to that, especially if we broaden it out to not just the AEW rosters, I think you got to go boom, boom, boom. Because if you can have old wrestlers and WWE wrestlers in there, you got a lot to sort through. So you got to
really.
I favor the kind of tougher categories as well.
Okay,
I think Don Callis. Joe did obviously very well. I'm not making an excuse for that.
I will ponder more for you, and we can do that again next week. All right, brilliant.
I bet the listeners got that fucking 10 names before we did.
We were talking about losing the belts over and over.
One thing I will say is that Okada is tough though, because you constantly forget he has that fucking international.
Even when you said it, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, it's
we were
very
around it with the trios champs as well. Because we had like Fletcher and Okada just held trios titles, but they also hold other titles, obviously.
So yeah, there you go. That was Chad Stable, excuse me.
Chad Stable.
All right, we'll jump into Dynamite, which kicked off with the they did we're doing the contract signing first. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Something's going wrong, and it was Jericho making his entrance.
It was a little.
It's the annoying wrestling thing where it's like obviously staged, pretending not to be staged. Do you know what I mean? Like,
but specifically where it's like a pyro went off.
Yeah,
Shivani was like, "Oh, sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what the fuck that was about." Oh, then a pyro, like, have Shivani doing the intro and have like the lights go out, and Jericho's music plays. You know what I mean? Like,
if you do the bit of a glitching thing, they didn't really go far enough with it. Like, you should have had, the lights have gone off and back on, and something's happening, and then Jericho. But they just sort of, it was a bit undercooked. Also, it would have been disappointing anyway. It ended up being Jericho.
I mean, I still think it was not as disappointing as the Hurt Syndicate returning on Collision in a backstage pre-tape, which to me is just the maddest, like...
I think that's a fair place for them to return.
I don't know. I when you have people gone for a while, look, call me old fashioned, call me easy to please. You're not going to be a lights go out and they fucking come out with it. I mean, just fucking do that every week and you keep me happy.
I will say, fans were excited for Jericho, but they weren't that excited.
Not that excited.
They weren't that exciid. And he got it, but like he was like, "You're not that excited to see me." It feels like, look, whenever someone does a return, there's the shiny new thing for a while, but I don't think that's going to last very long for this guy. I really don't. And he's in Canada as well, so
doing the fucking
Winnipeg.
Exactly, yeah.
The non-promo Roman Reigns thing where you come out and soak up the reaction for 5 minutes and then say one thing and leave. Like, that really annoyed me.
Jericho himself did that when he returned in
2012, whatever that was. Yeah.
Whenever it was, with the short hair and the...
Oh, of course, yes.
Didn't do the promo, just left.
Oh, God, that's even worse.
Yeah.
This turn, I was willing to give it a chance, but I've already turned on it.
I think part of the problem was he came out with the sparkly purple jacket, and that immediately was like, "Oh yeah, remember this guy? I didn't like him last time he was here." Like, it wasn't a new enough, different enough look to be like a new. It wasn't Melody's face, Stacey with new hat. It was just old Stacey,
Yeah, that was that.
I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. Give it the benefit of the doubt. Let's see.
Will Ospreay jumped John Moxley backstage, said he's going to fucking kill him. And
I saw a little clip on Blue Sky that he, where they started taping it, Moxley just kind of jumped himself into a thing. But I didn't catch it watching it live. It was fun.
Yeah. We had the previously built up contract signing between MJF and Kenny Omega. I thought this was good. Omega was better than he was last week.
For sure. A
little bit more on. It was about par for the course. It was almost what you'd expect. It was good. It wasn't great. They're doing. It's not quite the WWE. We're acknowledging how bad things are in the storyline. They're kind of doing this thing with Kenny where they're talking about, and Ospreay as well, actually, where they're kind of talking about them like their bodies are like ticking time bombs. Do you know what I mean? Like they could die at any minute. Oh
my God.
It's not quite at the level of them building up Hogan's TNA match with the footage of him having 10 back surgeries and hobbling around backstage unable to fucking do anything. It's not quite that level, but MJF was like saying that Kenny's intestines could explode at any second.
But we know this. I mean, this is the thing. MJF did are you going to tell him, Kenny? Are you going to tell him the big secret? You had surgery on your fucking intestines. How about that? That was the whole story of Kenny's comeback. It had been done.
And then, he rattles Kenny, and the speedball comes out to stop Kenny from jumping MJF. And then Omega comes back with a revelation. I thought this was going to be an actual revelation. He says he spoke to MJF's doctors. I was like, oh, where's this going? He says, you got no balls. I was like, yeah. That wasn't great. But anyway, and so we got Speedball versus MJF was made for an eliminator match later on.
Yeah.
This is another. We talked about this last. This is another week where Kenny was all over this show. He must have gotten about like 40 minutes of screen time because this segment segued into a trios match where Kenny, Jack Perry, and Brody King defeated the Demand in a 6-man tag. But the action was perfectly fine. I felt like this went on forever, though. But it was alright. It was alright. One-winged angel on Ricochet for the win. Yeah. Willow issued an open challenge for Kalish. Copeland and Christian showed up and said they were hunting for FTR. So there you go. They obviously were not in the building. They bumped into some Don Callis jabronis.
Yeah, it was Trent and
Rocky. Yeah, so they got meeting up, which was interesting because obviously it's like a little fake out. They thought they'd get FTR, they didn't. Maybe a little teaseroo there. Maybe our FTR. If they can tease the Don Callis thing, I don't know.
Christian was going to hit Renee with a chair as well.
Yes, yeah, that was his big thing. Ospreay defeated Pac of the Death Riders. Again, Pac working over the neck on this one a lot. This was great stuff, as you'd expect. Ospreay has not really lost a step, but they are doing a very good job of, again, kind of like Kenny, they're really selling the idea of, no, not his neck.
My concern, though, is that all Ospreay's matches are going to be this for the next 6 months.
I think they are. 6 months, this might be a Matt Jackson's back type thing. With his entire rest of his career, to be honest.
It's like with the Kenny thing. Okay, Kenny thing was a little bit more life-threatening. I understand it. But like, I think when someone comes back from an injury like this, you do the work in the neck or work in the leg or whatever for like a month and then get back to like doing matches, doing actual like Ospreay matches. But I thought this was good, but I had a hard time getting into it as much as, for example, the previous Pac Ospreay where they just fucking balls to the wall. Because it was the methodical, the neck and stopping the neck. You know, there was a little, Jim Cornette probably wouldn't agree with me on that point, but that kind of thing. It's like, if you're advertising Pac Ospreay, expect a million miles an hour, you know, explosive stuff. This was a little bit of a slower, methodical sort of match, but it's still very good. It was not a patch on what I've seen before from these guys, and that has me concerned. From I think Mox Ospreay will be more of that. I think Mox is probably better suited to that kind of style than Pac is anyway. But I still have high hopes for that. But I would like it to not be the new thing for us. I don't think that's Espo's forte.
We after the match, Death Riders jumped Ospreay. They wrapped the chair around his neck like they were going to Pillmanize him, and then Mox stopped and basically just did a whole kind of don't make this personal thing with him. I could have killed you here if I really wanted to, but you know, so there you go. That's the angle on this one. We had Shirakawa and the Brawling Birds defeating the Triangle of Madness. Hater pinned Julia Hart with the Haterade. Obviously, that's foreshadowing the title match. There you go.
Yeah. Good choice.
Darby Allin came out to call out MJF. This is the thing they've been doing with MJF a lot lately, which is kind of like he has a million people gunning for him at all times, which is good. I don't mind necessarily, but it's kind of a weird segment here. He was waffling about. He was doing his Darby thing. He was talking. Someone needs to put an end to MJF. Blah blah.
Yeah. What? But it's God. It doesn't make any sense. MJF's not killing the company. The company's far more successful now that he's world champion. So what is Darby saving? This is a little bit restore the feeling or defending AEW's honor kind of thing. Like what is he saving AEW from? When comes out and defends the belt a lot quite often, wins, everyone's happy. You know what I mean? Like I just think Darby should be focusing on, okay, we've saved AEW. Now I want to go after the World Championship because that's what AEW is all about. You know, like, great for him to be involved in the world title pitch. I think it's a time. And they have been drip feeding it in since the start of the year, end of last year. But also, what has he been doing? Wrestling the dogs like every week and not really doing anything. Like, should have started a bit earlier, I think, with a singles push for him.
Is this segment a little bit the like Marvel thing of every movie has to be like they're saving the world from, you know? And this could be simpler insofar as it being like Darby saying, every time I see MJF on TV holding that, it makes me fucking sick. I'm gonna hate the guy and I'm gonna be the one to take the belt off. If Kenny doesn't succeed, I'm gonna be next and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, just make it personal. Like, oh, I hate MJF so much. I just want to destroy. I want someone to fuck him over, whether it's me or Kenny or whoever. Yeah, just not about like, oh, I love AEW. Save the company. Like, what?
Yeah. So Darby's doing this. The Don Callis family comes out, and Callis says he was paid money by MJF to take care of this, right? So if Darby can beat a member of the family at Dynasty, that he gets title shot at MJF. It makes me think, what is MJF paying you for? To give Darby an eliminator match? I don't quite understand. And so they settled on Andrade. It's a great match. Looking forward to it. But yeah, very, very odd, very weird thing. And then
this is where you just say that Tony Khan has made this match.
Yeah,
and MJF is paying. We know that Darby is in the match, and Don Callis and MJF are using their backstage influence to get the other guy.
Yes.
So their guys, and MJF is paying Don to put forward Andrade is the best.
That's a little cleaner for sure. Families start to surround Allen, but then out comes Brody King and Jack Perry for the save. And of course, whenever Kenny Omega is not on screen, all the characters should be asking, where's Kenny Omega? He comes out again to do commentary for the main event, which was MJF defeating Speedball Mike Bailey. So that's one potential challenger put away. And this is really good stuff. This is a really good match. This was a pay-per-view level match, which I think we take for granted a little bit.
This is the best. I think I like this more than Pac Ospreay. I think this is my favorite match.
Yes, this was which is crazy to think about, that there was two matches on that level. Like, a Pac Ospreay was not the best match on this random episode of Dynamite. It was really, really great stuff. They had a great back and forth. And MJF just won clean with the Heat Seeker, which is he's obviously trying to get that. That's his new big thing, because that used to be his like near fall move, and he's winning a lot of matches with that now. So I guess that's the
Didn't he start using the Brain Buster for a while? But then they have like 5 people using the Brain Buster.
Yes, yeah.
So I think have him do the Heat Seeker or the armbar.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfectly fine for me, I think. The show then ended and then went on for like 2 minutes for some reason until it actually ended. So I was thinking, like, is something else going to happen here? Like, MJF won, went to the back. Omega was checking on Speedball. Speedball eventually got to his feet. Omega raised his hand, yeah. And then the show ended. I was like, what are you doing here? Come on. I got to put this dinner on. Let's get the show over. They were in Canada, though. So Bailey got the big Canadian hometown. Not really hometown, home country reception. Mm-hmm. So good for him. I mean, Speedball and Kevin Knight definitely getting substantial use this year. Even more so than last year. So good for them. Good signings.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was Dynamite. How was Collision? I did not see it this week.
I skipped it as well.
Oh, it falls on my shoulders to cover Collision. I'll be honest, I did watch it. I had it on in the background while I was making my dinner. So my takes were very detailed. Although, based on the card, you can probably make your own assumptions. Continental Championship Eliminator, Jon Moxley, Anthony Bowens.
No.
Who won that one?
You know. Moxley won, of course. There was a bit where Anthony Bowens, remember that Anthony Bowens is trying to wiggle his way into the ops. I know that somewhere has him on TV for 3 weeks, but remember it. There was a bit of a chair, and he was trying to bludgeon Moxley with a chair halfway through the match.
What?
Even though that would have meant he wouldn't win.
Why does he want to be in the ops?
The shot.
For a start,
because him and Hook are real buddies IRL.
Well, then,
so that's why.
Joe. That doesn't make sense.
I know. You're right.
Can't he just be in the ops? Like, who gives a shit? They're crap.
Yeah.
And I want to be in the ops. Okay.
Go on. Fuck it. I mean, what are the ops doing? You know, the ops aren't. The phone sounds actually ringing off the hook for the ops matches lately.
NWOB team holding auditions.
I noticed when I was looking at the fantasy league. Speaking of the ops and their inactivity, Katsuyori Shibata is still one of the wrestlers on negative points for the year. He's on -1.
So I'm sure Samoa Joe will be back at some point to boost that.
Post-match, Ospreay ran out and hit Moxley with the hidden blade.
Good.
And then he said that, we have the match at the pay-per-view, but I want to make sure that it is continental rules to prevent the Death Riders from interfering.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because you guys did watch Dynamite. I was convinced that I had seen a graphic on Dynamite that had already said it was for the Continental title.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Right?
I don't remember.
I'd seen a graphic just showing the match without the title.
I thought I remember wrong. Because he announced that it's going to be for the title. They did. Tony Khan has announced it is for the title. I'm like, I was sure I had seen a graphic that it was for the title already. Okada, Andrade, and Mark Davis was backstage, and Okada said, "We need to get revenge for Kyle being injured." Speaking of that, where is Takeshita? Why is he not here? So Okada was doing the old. He's very good for laying on thick the "I'm your best friend," and where the fuck's that Takeshita guy? Why is he not here for you like I am? Very, very good. Divine Dominion beat 2 local jobbers, so of course give that the old 5 stars from me. I tell you what, even if they were in Joe's team and he was even further ahead than me, I love Divine Dominion.
Yeah,
love him. Great. 2 giant hot chicks just fucking beating people's asses. What more do you want?
Yeah, they need some challenges though. I mean,
I just haven't beat jobbers for the whole year. Go on. Okay. I love it.
There must be some like half decent wrestlers they can put together just to give them a decent match.
The problem is they're all on Ring of Honor for some reason. They never get on.
Tony owns Ring of Honor.
Oh, it's weird, isn't it? Fucking Athena is one of the best wrestlers he has under his employ. Where is she?
Is it like Ring of Honor Tony won't let AEW Tony book the title? Oh, can I book?
I know.
King Rin? No, you can't, Tony.
Yeah, like for example, how many matches has Julia Hart had this year? 7. How many has Athena had? 0. Tony, have a word, please. Doing that backwards. Hurt Business were backstage in MVP. No, it's their
Syndicate. Hurt Syndicate.
Oh, sorry. F4W Online, 2026 website of the year. Lists them as the Hurt Business.
Dog shit website.
It is. Let me have a look. Is there any funny headlines on the website today? Little Yachty responds to criticism of celebrities at WrestleMania 42. Thanks for that. Anyway, back to Collision. We had so Hurt Syndicate are back. They're back, and they're in the market for new talent, and they're going to hurt people. Yeah. Willow Nightingale, Shida. Shida turned out to be obviously the mystery opponent, and then post match they did tease a turn. And I was like, oh my God, this is the most interesting option. And then instead they did a respectful nod and you get me next time. So that's kind of the less interesting option, but whatever. FTR beat a team of London Lightning and Mo Jabari. Oh, Jabari, sorry.
Very good.
Got his ass. And FTR won, you'd be surprised here, at which point Cope and Christian ran down and fought a lot of security, left FTR lying. They hit a concerto on a security guard. I think they'll be suspended for the rest of the year. And the match at Dynasty is probably off. If Tony Khan cares about his opponents.
Jericho and Sammy Guevara are available, so they can step in.
Hey, there you go. That's we had the match being made for Dynasty, Tekla against Jamie Hayter. I'll take all of that you got. Juice Robinson against Tommaso Ciampa. Juice Robinson appears to be wrestling in some sort of black nappy. I don't understand how this man looked in the mirror and thought, yeah, that'll do. Maybe the worst gear in the history of wrestling. Absolutely awful, like loose fitting, like little trunks. Like what? Very straight, like a black diaper. It looked like he was right. Ciampa did get the win with the old running knees. The stars were out tonight, folks. Isaiah Cassidy was backstage and said,
okay,
he's injured, so I'm going alone.
That'll go well. That'll go well.
Yeah.
So our assumption was wrong last week. John Moxley was just saying that he injured one of them.
I look forward to his upcoming feud with Chris Jericho.
God.
Darby Allin's backstage. It was a very strange segment where he was confronted by Brody King and Jack Perry, and they were like, we don't like you, Darby. Me and you have had coffin matches. And Jack Perry said, you lit me on fire that one time. And they said, yeah, we don't like you, but we also don't like the Don Callis family. So, WTF. And then that was it. Jack Perry, they did a comedy bit where Brody King would say something and Jack Perry would just keep saying, and you lit me on fire. And then you did this to me, Darby, and then you lit me on fire. And then the segment ended with a close-up on Jack Perry going, he lit me on fire. Jack Perry, you remember All In, we were trying to light Darby on fire in the coffin, so don't worry about that.
It's unroundabouts.
Don Callis family beat the Rascals. Which doesn't bode well for their tag team hopes. Mark Davis and Andrade were the thrown together team who got the win here. After the match, Okada, Romero, and Trent Beretta came down and they started beating up the Rascals even more. And then Myron Reed came down and made the save, sent Okada and the boys scarpering for the hills. I would have had Okada just fucking kick his ass for 10 straight minutes is what I would have done there. So I guess we're getting, I don't know what, Okada and the Geeks versus the Rascals on the pre-show. I mean, is this what we have for Okada? Fucking feuding with the Rascals? Come on.
It seems like it.
This guy should be feuding with Swerve or someone. I mean, who, by the way, where was he on this show? The Dogs and the Death Riders, this is the main event. The Dogs and the Death Riders versus the conglomeration Mystico and Kevin Knight. The Babies got the win with Kevin Knight hitting a big old UFO splash, while Mystico had Claudio in La Mystica for the win. So that was your collision. Again, there's something to a taped collision just not having the energy that grabs the viewer. So I'm sure it was fine. Again, I was very occupied while I was had this on because I'd made a lovely dinner for myself and I wanted to watch some stuff afterwards, so I had to get it watched while I was doing that. Okay, what else have we to get to then?
Well, we'll give a quick mention here of the Pape, which is coming up next.
I guess next week we probably will we look to do another Monday?
Do a Monday job, I guess, yeah. And do a Pape review. Currently sitting at 5 matches and 1 pre-show match. Alex Windsor versus Marina Shafir on 0 Hour. That's pretty good.
I'm a strange one because I look forward to it, but they have unless I missed it while I was cooking, they haven't done a segment where it's like Alex Windsor used to be Tony Storm's tag team partner. Tony Storm has been taken out by a mystery person while feuding with Marina Shafir. Therefore, these two.
I unless I missed it, I don't
know.
know.
It was based on Ospreay. Revenge for Ospreay.
Oh, it's Ospreay. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
That's
there's an extra element to it.
They don't really talk about that on TV.
They haven't really played it out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, well. That should be all right. Andrade versus Darby. Which for your,
I'm sure it'd be class.
For a random singles just down on the card. That's pretty good. John Moxley versus Will Ospreay. Little classic.
20-minute time limit. Ooh, put all the holiday money on a draw. So
yes, yeah. Big Thek versus Jamie Hayter. Should be class.
Love
should
it.
Be class.
Love it.
Big question mark on this one. FTR versus Cage and Cope. I did not really like the last one very much. A lot of people did. I was not.
This is going to be Shortcut City. really.
Yeah, and it's like I'm kind of thinking like what version of short? Like if it's gonna, I don't want to see any more reference moves. I don't want to see John Cena's moves. I don't want to see the 3D. I don't want to see any of that fucking shit. I don't want to see his wife. I don't want to see anyone's wife. All right. I think if they maybe just put all that shit aside and just have a match, it might be all right. But because FTR are on a hell of a run. But
brawl around the crowd, anyone?
Latitude era action.
Announce table spot, anyone?
Yeah.
I think you'll see the 3D and stuff like that. I think for sure.
Oh god.
Are we seeing a title change? Is the question.
I think so.
Yeah. I'll put the -3s on your guys.
So I feel like that was the logical conclusion, right? I feel like we all knew when this all started, right? And gun to my head right now, I'd say yeah, probably because like Cope and Christian are coming back from the Beth angle. They're coming, so they're not going to lose to these guys after all that heat. But you would kind of hope that it would be this piping hot nuclear. Oh, this is fucking it. Oh my fucking god, fine. But it's just not. It's just not. People like cheering for Cope when he comes back from one of his little absences, and that's it. It's not just us Scrooges on podcasts who aren't it. It's not this mega over thing where people are just NXT tag champions. It's really not. But I think they will be, just because that's just how they do things. I think
they'll have a little run. It's fine. I don't mind it. I think they'll. I still think they'll win it here, maybe, or maybe win it in New York, and then hold it till All In. Maybe you drop it to the Bucks. Maybe you do Cope and Cage, Bucks, FTR, All In, or something like that. They'll have like a little 4 or 5 month reign with it, and that's enough. And then we can retire Cope
forever. Yeah. And then MJF versus Kenny Omega. I thought the TV match they had there like 2 years ago was great. This has a very high ceiling. I think the only thing hurting it is I don't really buy the idea that Kenny... I feel like we're just a couple of weeks away from the next Kenny gets beaten up by a bunch of lads and is off TV again for... Do you know what I mean?
Let me get speeding up here.
In fact, maybe at this thing...
They just beats him like a dog.
MJF hits him with the ring and the gut at the finish, and he's spitting up blood, and
Yeah, we go off there with another dead body on MJF.
Yeah, another
That'd be good.
Guy he's writing off. Yeah, but I think the match should be good. Good for sure.
I know we've still got a week of TV, but only 5 matches. I wonder if one of these is going a bit long. Maybe we get
that is also possible.
45-minute main event or something. I don't know, but also, it feels strange.
Is the Continental stuff? Is it definitely 20 minutes on pay-per-view?
Yeah. Ospreay said it on the promo.
Oh, he said it off. So yeah, that's yeah. I mean, look, the MJF has long matches. But again, I feel like it's just this very short turnaround on the pay-per-view versus like how long the Revolution was. I think they'll announce 4 matches on this week's TV.
Well, we still don't have trios title match. We don't have TBS title. Women's tag. Well, I was thinking in terms of championships. We don't have TNT. Obviously, Fletcher's hurt. We don't have national.
Fucking Jack Perry match. Yeah. I mean, I'm not into Jack Perry. That's one thing. The other thing is the fact that they're hanging on to this idea that Ricochet is his next challenger. I'm like, oh god, oh god. I mean, could we just move on from all of this? But anyway, I think that show looks great already with what they have on paper, and we will see what they add in the next 2 episodes of TV, and we'll be back next week to talk the Pape, folks. So look forward to that. Might be slightly delayed again because what we'll do is we'll watch the show before we do the pod, so you might be a day late on that one. Let's segue over to our non-wrestling reviews. Who has seen a movie this week other than me?
I've seen a movie.
Go on, Joe.
So I've been scrolling all the streaming services for something to watch. There's never anything on, so I'm so desperate I ended up on Amazon Prime. Is it Freevee? I can't remember what it's called. The free. I don't have Amazon Prime. But they do have like ad-supported movies, and I did see on there Hell Comes to Frogtown, the Roddy Piper movie, which I've never seen. Never seen. I was like, this is perfect because I can tick that off my list and finally watch this. And you know what? It is incredibly entertaining B movie. Basically, Piper play. It's a post-apocalyptic world, kind of a post-nuclear Holocaust kind of world, where Roddy Piper plays one of the last fertile men on Earth. Basically, they check him out. He's been kind of traveling across this apocalyptic wasteland, impregnating women, as it goes, and they've managed to track him down. And it turns out he is basically the top shagger left on Earth. Right? This is the premise of the whole film, right? So what they have to do, they have to transport him to a facility where they can start to repopulate the Earth using the men and women that are still fertile. However, on the way there, they end up in Frogtown, which is a kind of shanty town made up of mutant, humanoid frogs, basically. So the nuclear holocaust has caused a mutation between the frogs and the humans. It's then up to Roddy Piper to kind of save the day and get them out of this situation with the frogs and then get them back on the road. So, God, it is the cheapest kind of a real proper B movie, not like an ironic wink B movie. It's we made this for $1 million. We've got a wrestler in it, but it's so much fun and it's so kind of wink and a nod. Piper's brilliant in it. I did lose a bit of steam as it went on just because it's so preposterous, but it was very, very entertaining. If you never watched it, I just try it on one time. I would suggest watching it on stream, if that Barry, but it is also quite, I don't know if you'd be allowed under the the Twitch kind of
TOS
nudity and violence and other stuff that's on there.
I'll fly under the radar. I'll figure it out.
Just watch it with your head in front,
I usually do that.
But really, really good. I didn't realize in it that Roddy Piper's character is called Sam Hell. So Hell comes to Frogtown is not just Hell; it's Sam Hell comes to Frogtown. So and it's not as good as what's his other movie called? They Live. Yes. Not as it's not a great movie like that.
It's great.
It's genuinely a good movie, but it's very entertaining and kind of worth watching.
Yeah, this looks like fun, schlocky stuff.
Absolutely.
I've seen some films. I watched some schlock, in fact. I watched 2 2026 releases. I watched two kind of horrors that are kind of tinged with a little bit of dark comedy. First thing I watched Primate, which is the latest from Johannes Roberts, who is a director I have a bit of a soft spot for. This is the only film I think he's made that has been in any way well received critically. This has gotten a decent little bit of word of mouth. He made the one Resident Evil film that's not made by W.S. Anderson, the one non-Mila Jovovich one. He made the second Strangers film, which I've bigged up quite a lot as the only one that's actually any good. And then he made Primate. Primate is about this college girl who goes home with her friends to visit her dad, who I don't even think they say it's part of his job. He just has a chimp. They don't really. He just has a chimp. He has a chimpanzee. Because I was going to say, is he
he's something on the head.
Because there's part of the film where he goes away to go to a book signing. So I don't think he's not like a zoologist or anything. The character is deaf and he uses sign language to communicate with the chimp. The family members all know the chimp. They get on with him. Basically, there's a little title crawl at the beginning of the film that goes, in 1862, the first species were diagnosed with such and such a syndrome, now commonly known as rabies. Right? That's the premise of your film. So this girl with her friends goes home to her family home with her dad. Her dad goes off to work, and their little chimp buddy gets rabies. And it basically turns into a home invasion serial killer movie with the chimp. But what's funny about it is, right, I was going to think, if you're going to make a movie like this about rabies, where a monkey gets rabies, I would think of it like 28 Days Later, right? They just go ballistic and they charge it. Yeah. This monkey gets rabies, and this movie is really schlocky and funny because he starts acting like the freaking Joker at various points in this movie, like toying with people and skulking around in the rafters and making weird noises and staring at them, and it's completely ludicrous. I will say that it's darkly comic. I will also say it's very gory. That's kind of where it's not especially scary, really. It's some fairly basic scares, but it's really gruesome. It's very grotesque. But it seems like they went out of their way to go as heavy on practical as they could. I mean, it doesn't seem like there's digital effects in every movie, right? The whole no CGI thing, that's always very overblown. But the monkey, little fella in a suit, as best I can tell, for the vast majority of it, or a puppet. I don't think there was a singular CGI monkey shot at any point in this film, which is great. All the, not quite as gruesome as something like Terrifier, but all the grotesque kills, obviously actual practical effects and heads getting smashed and gore everywhere. And in that sense, it's really, really fun. I enjoyed this a lot. The writing is a little bit, which is always kind of the thing with this guy's movies. He writes them himself as well, which I think, if this guy could partner up with a decent writer, I think he'd really be off to the races. But Primate, good, gory, cheesy fun, if you are so inclined. But when you're looking for gory, cheesy fun, boys, there's only one man I'm going to that I would trust with my life on this, and it's Mr. S. Raimi. He's back, and he's truly back. He's not just back releasing another film. Send Help is his release from earlier this year, and did a Marvel. It was whatever. Prior to that has done a lot of whatever. And I heard this was getting some good reviews. Like, all right, listen, even for all his failings, I was like, I still rate Raimi among my favorite directors ever. I'll give this a go. Oh, baby, did I love this motion picture. Let me tell you, I loved Send Help. So the premise is Rachel McAdams is a kind of lowly office clerk, kind of underappreciated in her job, does all the work, doesn't get any credit for it. Dylan O'Brien plays a sort of Nepo baby, I guess, to use the current vernacular, CEO douche guy. One of those movies, right? Annoying CEO douche guy who doesn't do any work and gets all the credit. They are going off on some corporate retreat. The plane crashes. Everyone except for the two of them is killed. And so they have to coexist on this desert island. And it goes from there. I wouldn't really reveal too much else there beyond that. It is chocked full of all the Raimi goodness. He shirks and doesn't care about this notion of cringe culture and everything having to be deathly serious because to indulge in cheese or corny material is lame, bro. And no, none of that. This movie is completely ludicrous and over the top and disgusting and hilarious and a little bit sadistic in places, in the ways his movies sometimes can be, but it relishes in it. It does not shy away from it. It's so corny as well. So without giving too much away, the premise of the film is very much that she is a survivalist nut. So she can actually kind of thrive on the island, whereas he can't. And at one point in the film, she's rocking around in some fucking Bugs Bunny ass like dress and hat she made out of like reeds and twigs. And like she has got the most comically over the top, I'm doing really well on the island, I've made a little chair for myself. It's so divorced from reality, but in a really charming, cheesy way. Really great performances, really over the top in all the best ways, and a very clever. It plays out in a way I didn't quite expect. I really, really, really love Send Help. It was a return to form, the likes of which I did not expect. I think if you've ever enjoyed any of Sam Raimi's like prime films, your Evil Deads, your Spider-Mans, I think you will get a kick out of this. It's really, really great. And McAdams is great. I feel like we don't see enough Rachel McAdams in things in general. I don't know if she's just very selective about what she does, but I actually can't remember the last thing I saw her in. It's been a while, but yeah, Send Help. Huge thumbs up on that. Primate a solid thumbs up as well. But yeah. The other thing I watched, an oldie, I rewatched Hard Boiled. I think I only just talked about it like a couple of months ago, maybe a year ago on the podcast. But it did get a remaster and a re-release. That was actually in the cinemas briefly. I know it was shown in Dublin. I think it was shown around the UK. Kind of has an infamous history of rights, copyright issues, right holders, shitty releases, lots of bad, fake, shitty stretched 480p releases, and bad mixes and bad fan subtitle dubs and all this other shit going around. Partnered up with Shout Studios and Arrow on this side of the world for like a real deal, proper like boutique 4K re-release. I did get the 4K version. It's a phenomenal action movie. It's a classic for obvious. This is a brilliant release. Like I just like I said, I talked about it on the pod like I think a year ago, and I watched some kind of like I think it was like quote unquote 720p, like a really pixely horrible washed out color thing. You watch it and you go, yeah, it's still a cool movie, but not the way to watch. This is really 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 fantastic. And it wasn't too expensive either. I think it was including delivery. I think I got it for like 35 quid or something like that. 4K, 2 discs, a bajillion features. I wanted to watch some of them over the weekend. I mean, I still have tomorrow, I guess. It is a long weekend. And it's just featurettes and trailers and audio commentaries, all that jazz. So yeah, great film and a great version of it as well. So well worth the time. And same company are also doing The Killer, I think, in the next couple of weeks, which I've actually never seen. But I know a lot of people rate that extremely highly as well. So yeah, 3 great films. And
The Killer is the Fincher Fassbender movie, or a different The Killer.
No, sorry, no. John Woo,
the John Woo
The Killer,
sorry.
which they did also remake, I think, 2 years ago, without him. But similarly, has also kind of not been released in HD in an official capacity from a decent company before. So I haven't seen that one, but based on the quality of this release, I would definitely buy this company's stuff again. So it seems like Woo, I don't know how if he got the right to all these, but it seems like he signed a deal with, I think Shout, the American, but they're the ones doing the actual restoration work, and Arrow are releasing it over here. It seems like basically a huge swath of his back catalog is coming out with them, which is great. And it's just great to have, like, it's just great to you could just like Google it and just buy this, whereas in the past it was just not really doable. But yeah, that's the movies from me.
I'd probably show it with my ignorance there. Obviously, I've not seen a lot of the early Woos.
No,
I've never seen Hard Boiled. I got to check this out.
I think you'd like it because it's also, again, as kind of the name implies, and I know that's just such a synonymous phrase with the genre. It is obviously first and foremost a big fucking practical effects, squibs, tables breaking glass, that blew the entire. But it's like the drill tweet. $10 on actors, $5 on camera, broken glass, $500,000. It's that, but also the hammy nature of the plot is great. It's Chow Yun Fat not playing by the damn rules. It's great in that regard. But yeah, I think you'd really enjoy it.
I love a lot of that era's sort of Chinese action, but like Jackie Chan stuff. Bruce Lee's obviously before. Do you see Police Story?
I haven't seen Police Story. I haven't seen any like prime Police real deal Jackie Chan. I've kind of only seen him as the kind of American comedic, Rush Hour and everything that came after Rush Hour.
Okay. There's a little exchange. I need to check out Hard Boiled. You need to check out Police Story.
Yeah, I've had like a Police Story box set in my like Amazon for like a year at this stage. But I should get to it. But yeah, that's me. That's me on the films. I think that's all our films.
I might rewatch Police Story. Fuck, I loved it so much.
What about telly?
Well, I didn't watch any movies, but I did watch some TV. I'm getting through that Batman box set at a good rate.
Oh yes, very good.
Animated series. I'm up to episode, I want to say 40-ish.
Okay. How many is there altogether? Do you know?
Episodes? Well, the series 1 has like 60. Series 2 is like 25, and then there's a further 25-ish, I think, of the is the new Batman Adventures,
right?
When they kind of rejig it. So I'm still relatively, I guess, early into it. I have 40 episodes in, so I'm nearly finished season 1, I guess. Yeah, more and more I watch it, the more and more I'm into it. And I think there's an element of Batman generally that I think this show does really well, that I think in retrospect is almost going to kind of ruin some of the movies for me.
Yeah. Is
that I love when Batman, in addition to being a superhero and all that shit, is like a detective. And like these cartoon episodes specifically have always this like throwback noir feel to them.
Yes. Yeah.
Even though he's fucking throwing the batarangs and flying around like a funny bat and driving the Batmobile, it's always like, what's this clue over here? It's a note written by someone, and it's like he's doing like detective work. Which I think back to even like the Nolan movies. There's like none of that.
No. Yeah.
It's just, they're just superhero movies. And if anything, thinking back to all the movies, there's maybe a very slight element of the Burton movies, but I think like the Matt Reeves Batman is the one for me. For all that the good and bad things that movie does, that's like the closest for me for like Batman in that movie is a detective.
It's very detective, yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I like, and not only insofar as Batman is quote unquote a detective, but even the way the cartoon is animated has a very, at times noir and at times sort of early 60s sort of sci-fi feel to it almost.
Okay.
Insofar as some of the wacky plots that some of the villains have. In fact, some of them, the episodes reminded me of all things of some of the early Japanese Godzilla movies.
Okay.
Aside from the fact that there's not a giant monster rampaging a city, but in terms of the actual plot, I think there are similarities in terms of how they get to the Godzilla bit. They reminded me a bit of these more weird Batman episodes because some of them are quite strange. One thing I love in it is that whenever there's a like exotic setting for one of the episodes, so whether he's going to like this expensive spa where Poison Ivy has a plot going on, or whether there's an episode I just watched where there's like a giant AI machine, which is funny that I watched that for the first time now. The villain is like a big AI. But whenever they have one of these settings, it's always on top of a cliff overlooking the sea. Like that's happened like 6 times already. I need to go to this place, Alfred. And then there's like this establishing shot where it's, again, that cliff where they just changed the building on its side. Very
and some of the best establishing shots you'll ever see in a cartoon as well.
Oh, it's top notch. Like I say, when I started watching it, I was a little slow to get on board. I think because I had just come off watching the X-Men series, which I think holds up super well as well. But that's much more, number one, it's much more serialized. But number two, the pacing of those is very, very fast. They are, again, very balls to the wall. This Batman is more the second Pac Osprey match, where it takes his time a little bit more. And like I say, it's a little bit more standalone. There are kind of part 1 and part 2s here and there, but I do like the mystery and detective element to it more so than it just being a superhero cartoon.
Yeah.
Cartoon. And the tone of it is super noir-y as well. It's super throwbacky. Like, if you've seen any of those classic noirs, Double Indemnity or whatever. Not to say this is like those because, it isn't. But there are elements in terms of the tone, the music, and the atmosphere that does feel very similar. Batman isn't lighting a cigarette and going, and then this Dane come in my mouth, say. But it like, the feel of it is very specifically unlike what you get with superhero fare these days. It's very not that.
Yeah.
There are some elements of comedy, but the comedy in it is always super deadpan.
Yes.
Alfred would, like, Batman's just come back from a big fight. His little bat wing thing that he floats around is all destroyed. And Alfred comes in and goes, I wish you'd take better care of your toys, Master Bruce. And Batman just doesn't acknowledge it at all. That's the comedy in this thing, which I appreciate as well. There's very little stupid nonsense. It's very it's
kind of close to Michael Caine in the Nolans, but there would always be a reaction shot of Christian Bale going,
Yeah.
It's like, imagine if there wasn't even that. It's just like, the Bugatti then, sir, far more discreet. And just imagine there was nothing. There was a silence at the after. Very reaction shot.
Very much. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love it. I'm watching like 2 episodes a night at this rate. It's nice to have the Blu-ray. It's a very good looking Blu-ray set as well.
Yeah.
Does have me kind of, I know it's very different and I'll probably regret this choice and go, oh Jesus, what am I thinking? Does have me kind of itching to, when I finish this, to eventually get around to like rewatching the Adam West series.
You might
like it reverse.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's enough appeal in that to watch like the whole thing through.
Yeah, I would guess that I'd probably get 5 episodes in and realize that every episode is like,
you're
exactly
like, yeah, okay, I've got it. Okay, I get it.
Biff, boff.
And there is the one cartoon episode where they do have Adam West. They do a kind of Batman has a TV superhero that he looked up to as a child.
Yeah,
and it's voiced by Adam West. And that's true, and that's one of my favorite episodes to watch so far. Yeah, I love it. I mean, and of course there was, I don't know if I'm sure I've told this story for the time I almost met Kevin Conroy in Dublin.
Did you?
Yeah.
Have you told the story?
Joe's from it.
And then
it was on my brother's birthday.
And you asked the man, is Kevin Conroy going to come back? And he said, I don't know.
No.
He said,
it was in Temple Bar. And there was a man standing there having his picture taken outside the Temple Bar. And I knew I recognized him, but I couldn't place who it was. And we just walked by. And then later I thought, I think there was Kevin Conroy in Dublin that we walked by, and we looked at his Twitter, and there was the picture of him being photographed, and we were walking by in the background.
Great, that's great.
So I almost met Kevin Conroy. He's passed away since. I kind of wish I had known at the time that's who it was, but that was a funny story. But yeah, I am loving the Batman animated series, and I love as well that it being a cartoon, you would think, you're watching a little kiddie's fucking Saturday morning cartoon. I'll tell you, I can't imagine watching it as a kid. It would be the most boring fucking world. It's so weird because it's a kid's cartoon, but it seems so not aimed at like children. It doesn't hit all the little hallmarks you would expect from a kid's cartoon like this, like full of wacky characters and colors. And it's a very, like I said, very noir-y, very slow, very dark, little. Some of the villains can be a little silly, I suppose, but it's very not, even the X-Men cartoon. I know that came out like 5-6 years after or whatever, but it seems much less, kid oriented. Like when I think back to watching other shows from my childhood that don't hold up as well, your Ninja Turtles, your Power Rangers. I mean, you can't get anything out of watching those these days. They're so. There's so little meat on the bones in terms of it being something that you can actually sit down and watch. As I just said, with every episode, Power Rangers especially, not only is every episode the same, every episode is literally like 10 minutes of the same footage.
Yeah.
A tiny amount of new footage in between. Whereas this is like, even with the intro, you can tell the amount of effort that's gone into the art direction and the writing of it. It's top notch. And I say that as someone who's not a Batman aficionado or whatever. I think it's top notch. And that's basically what I've been watching. Just some various other little things here and there, but nothing to really go into. How's the Pitt going?
Good. Yeah. I'm all caught up.
Anyone else's eye fall out or?
Lots of actually
lots of brain surgery.
I was gonna say in the last couple of episodes it hasn't been as that, but I feel like that's maybe just becoming acclimatized, Joe. I feel like it's just still plenty stuff.
It's pretty nasty, but yeah, it's good.
It's been good. Yeah, it's been really good, consistent as it always is. One thing I will say, I think there's 3 episodes left. Even by this show's own very tense standards, it feels like it's really obviously building to a gigantic car crash of a conclusion. And I don't think we're going to get any, because even though last season was like incredibly stressful and got its point across quite well about life in an ER, kind of come to the end and everyone clocks out and they all take a big deep breath and they fucking drink a beer and they're like, life goes on, and then they'll clock in and do it again tomorrow. This I feel like that's not how this one's going to end, Joe. I don't know if how you're feeling, but it feels like it's all getting ready to boil over.
It's a much kind of it's not the sort of friendly season. Last season felt like the friendly season, even with the shooting. It's all like, kind of, we're all coming together. This has been like everyone's tense.
Everyone's at each other's throats on top of the problems.
Kill everyone. They've all got individual problems. This is not kind of fluffy at all. So, probably blow up the whole hospital.
Yeah. Just a second to last episode. Oh, no, it's Danhausen. Hello. Right. This room is cursed. Okay. Yeah. Also, I'm injured, by the way. I need assistance. But yeah, it's good stuff. It is good stuff still, and a couple more episodes left on that bad boy. Last one laughing that wrapped up as well this week, the Amazon thing, which was very good fun again. That show, even with the weekly format, I mean, it starts and then it's just over because it is only 6. Great crack. So yeah. And speaking of wrapping things up, I did finally wrap up Resident Evil 9. I was a big boy and I sat down to my long weekend and I finished it. great game, really spectacular. I loved it. I've picked it up the last couple of weeks. Yeah, not too much else to say about it. Really, 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 really cool. I'm very curious what they do next, because story-wise, some places they go, gameplay-wise, they've done a lot. Do you know what I mean? But again, this franchise is 30 years old. This like 2 weeks ago, I think it was. So they'll figure it out. But yeah,
constantly reinventing itself.
Yes,
like
yeah, and this one even more so. You know, they meshed a lot of stuff together. But it was great. It was really fantastic. I'll be watching whatever they do next closely. But yeah, what about you, Paul? What are you playing?
Also, Jericho's body looks a bit like the Nemesis. He's going to take his hair off. Sorry, Chris. Sit yourself down. Because last time we spoke, I said, here's all my feelings about Metroid Prime 4. I can vomited them all out. And I said, well, I've the final boss still to play, but I'm not really probably going to have many thoughts on that. I have thoughts. Did you think you were out of the grips of these fucking bozos developing this game? Because they hit me with one more big old fuck you. So I've said my piece last week. I think it's a very good game that just every 10% of the way you get through has some boneheaded nonsense that makes you hate the game, and then you get another 9%. Actually, it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
And then something else. Oh. So anyway, you get to the end boss, and you have your little group of what are they? The troopers, Miles McKenzie, and there's some other you meet along your journey. So it's you and 5 of them, and you get to the final boss, and because you've been on this journey with these other troopers, you have their help now. They're shooting the boss as well as you. So when you have, whether it's Mass Effect or the Fallout games or whatever, where you have companions and they're typically very helpful. Mm-hmm. So here you think, I'm being repaid for all of my effort going through this journey, saving these people. It's going to come to the final boss and they're going to help me beat the final boss and make my life a little bit easier. So you're fighting the boss, and what happens is you're fighting the boss, shooting the boss, and then one of your colleagues will get downed, and you have to stop fighting the boss and run over and heal them.
Great, okay.
Right? So you're spinning plates now. You're fighting the boss and you're watching your guys that they don't get downed. And so there's one phase where the boss turns into this lightning dragon, basically. And so the floor gets covered in these circular designs, and that's showing you where the lightning is going.
Where the lightning's going to hit.
You have to run to an area that's not covered, and so you'll be safe. So of course your companions presumably do the same, right? They say, well, I don't want to be struck by lightning. I'm going to run over.
God.
And so they're going, yeah, boss. Where do I go, boss? And they just all get lectured. 3 of them are down at once. You run over, you're healing one of them, and while you're healing the first one, the second one dies. Too bad, screen. Your friend died. Back to the start of the boss battle. Sorry. It's like the boss battle again. Okay, I'll be ready for this next time. So you're fighting the boss again. Your little friends are running around shooting the boss, whatever. Get to that phase again. Fucking exact same thing happens. There's no way to get around it. There's no way to prevent it. There is a mechanic that you get, to be fair, prior to the final boss, basically right before the final boss. So it's not a mechanic that they introduce in the level and you get a chance to use it prior to the final boss. There's you get this suit and you can go into your psychic view and hold a specific button, and that generates a shield for maybe give that to me right before the boss or earlier, so I actually get a chance to get used to it before the boss. So anyway, what I said was, this is a load of shit. I'm just going into baby mode, beat his first time, uninstalled. So I did finish it. Again, stupidness. Because the boss itself is not hard. The boss itself, pretty okay. Just the fact that your teammates just fucking can't get themselves killed unless you, I guess, use this mechanic that you've never used in the game up until that point, which I just, as soon as I got to suit, I forgot that mechanic was because the game never actually has you use it until you find the last boss. So, rubbish. And then you get the conclusion of the story. Fucking story's terrible anyway. Story's not.
Well, yeah. That's the end of those games. I've never liked any of that stuff. Like any of the ones I've played, I was like, people.
I like the simplicity of the story, which is typically you land in this strange place and you have to escape. And that's the plot, right? You're going through a place to be able to get away, and then you find some shit on your way, and there's some shit going on, and you have to solve that stuff before you escape. But here it's like, oh, Samus, you are the chosen one, and this planet, our people have been dead for so many years, and you have to save them. It's a load of shit. Like, it's a load of nuts. Which again is like every decision they made along the way in terms of the influence. We're influenced. We saw Breath of the Wild did this so well, and so we took all the stuff from Breath of the Wild that doesn't actually apply in any way to a Metroid game. We didn't not even understand what was good about it. Like Breath of the Wild, a game about exploration, full of hidden little things to discover, Easter eggs to past Zelda games. You turn a corner, this organic thing is happening where there's a base that's, they're fighting each other and you can sneak in and drop. Instead, they're like, Breath of the Wild, why did that be? Have a huge open world. Okay, just take that. Yeah, don't take any of the things that make it work. Plonk that in the middle of Metroid. We have to make the bike work then. So we do this level where you do a whole bike tutorial for the bike. You don't even want to fucking ride. You don't even want to be in the game.
Yeah.
It's like full of these, as I said, full of these decisions that it's like when you see a sequel movie made by somebody that didn't get what made the first movie good.
Yeah.
It's very that. So look, it's done. For me, it would fall into the high 6, low 7 out of 10 range, maybe. But I think I find it more like frustrating than bad. It's more, why did they fucking do this?
Why did they do it this way?
Like ultimately is driving for 2 minutes across the desert 6 times in the game the worst thing in the world? No. But it's the frustration and the annoyance of why is this even here? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Which really got my blood boiling. But it's done now anyway, so I don't play that ever again. I'm playing Pokemon LeafGreen now. I'm on the Elite Four, so at the very end of the game. Oh, it's fine. I do like my little Pokemon team. They did add this is my favorite little mini game. Is they've added like censoring of names. So every time I catch a Pokemon, I'm coming up with a unique spelling to try and get around the censoring. So my latest thing is Dick spelled D-I-Q. Every third Pokemon is something D-I-Q.
Okay.
And then sometimes you'll put in a name that you're sure will get around it and it doesn't work. And then you'll catch a Cubone and we'll call it Cubone and it's fine. So boner. Cubone. Ass. What's the Simpson when I put an ass taken? For the voting. But yeah, it's fine. They've added some extra content into that game as well, which feels very... when you play an old game that they've retroactively added content to and it doesn't feel like it's from the same game?
Yeah.
There's a bit of that to it where they've added these extra locations in it that just feel very out of place and don't really improve the game in any way, just add padding to it, which I'm not crazy about. But otherwise it's fine. I'm in a little bit of a pickle in terms of what I'm going to play next.
Okay.
I'm wondering if it is time to pull the trigger and go back to Baldur's Gate.
What are you in the mood for? I mean, you're playing an RPG already.
I'm playing Pokemon. I've just beaten Metroid, which isn't the best Metroid. So part of me is thinking, do I go back and play Metroid Prime 2 and have it like an actual Metroid experience? Part of me is thinking, I want to play the Captain Toad game that came out a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And I do like that. I think I'd play a tiny bit of it, not much. Because the Captain Toad levels are in Galaxy?
World. 3D World, I'm really sure.
3D World, sorry. Which I did like a lot. And then I have games on Xbox that I have, the Xbox sitting there that maybe Elden Ring or Baldur's Gate, games that I started and kind of fell off that I do want to eventually get back to, but in saying I want to eventually get back to, I never actually get back to.
Yeah.
So do I just rip the Band-Aid off and play one of them? But we will see.
Alrighty. Well, we'll report back next week with what you pick up.
I will.
And that's going to do it for this week's show. Happy Easter, everyone. You're listening. I hope you're listening to this on a very relaxing.
Just my phone buzzed with the artwork.
Right, that is the album art. Fantastic. We will be back.
Sorry, Lashley is head made me laugh.
We will be back. We will be back next week. Talking about.
Oh Lord.
Hey, we'll have the Pape to discuss. And various other things. What game will Paul pick up? And some other bits and pieces as well. ChairShotPodcast.com is where you can go to check out the Fantasy League in real time. And so you're able to pop us an email if you'd like to do that. So we'd love to hear from you about the show. Until next week, folks, have a good rest of your long weekend. And we'll be talking to you all very, very soon. Goodbye from you, Harry. Goodbye from Paul.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Joe.
Goodbye.